Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
And good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Morning Woodward Show here on the Woodward Sports Network. Thank you to everybody watching us over at woodwardsports.com. A beautiful Tuesday morning, Monday Night Football, Patriots, Bears. The Bears, Jeff, the Bears are 3-4.
I'm done.
Isn't that funny?
I'm done with the Bear slander. 6 games in, Matt Eberflus's first road win.
Yeah, it's still too early, but
the
fact that the Bears are 3-4. Look, you know what the theme of last night was, Jeff?
They got a good defense, though. I'll give them that.
You know what I was told last night?
What were you told?
I was told to be patient. I need to be patient. Let me help you guys out with something. There's a difference. There is a difference. A fundamental difference between being patient and complacent. And in my lifetime, the Lions have been nothing but complacent. But I'm being told I have to be patient. Why? Why since the year 2000 have the Minnesota Vikings won the division 5 times? Now on path to win their 6th division. On track to get to the playoffs a 10th time in that 22-year span. Why? Why is it that the Vikings are in the playoffs every 2 years? Why is it that the Vikings win the division every 3 years, every 4 years? Why is it since 1993, the last division title, the Vikings have won it more times since 93 than the Lions have in franchise history? The Lions haven't even won the NFC North yet. It was the NFC Central back in the day. But I need to be patient. I'm 28. Look, if I live to 70, maybe I get to 70, and I'm old enough. Just maybe I get to see a division title. Just maybe I get to spend some money on some home tickets to Ford Field, and I get to watch the Lions host a home playoff game. What a freaking insane concept. I know. Stay with me. It gets tricky now. And I have to sit here and you tell me I have to be patient. Why? Why do I have to be patient? Excuse you? I don't have to be patient. Every team in the NFL somehow, some way finds a way to figure it out. I need to be patient. Kiss my ass. I don't need to be patient. The Jets have no business being 5-2. The Giants have no business being 6-1.
Keep going.
The Seahawks are atop their division at 4-3. The Bears are 3-4. The Bears who don't even have a quarterback. They have a running back playing quarterback. You got shut out by a Patriots defense that gave up 30-plus points to the Bears. A Patriots team that mid-game benched their first-round draft pick, Mac Jones, who led them to the playoffs last year, by the way. That's the team you lost to. And now both of them are 3-4. And you're sitting there at 1-5 telling me I have to be patient. Screw you. Every single one of you Detroit Lions fans that ever tells me to be patient, not only me or any other Lions fan, that we have to be patient. Any individual has to be patient. F off. Kiss my ass this morning.
What about the Falcons?
I'm not having it.
The Falcons, their best playmaker on offense is a rookie, and on defense, they really have Grady Jarrett. They have a bridge quarterback you can call Marcus Mariota, and they're 3-4, second in the division. Better record than the New Orleans Saints. So I guess if you're the Lions, you're the only team in the NFL that is patient. And guys, be patient. We got to have standards around here. Finally, that's what fans need.
Oh goodness me! What are you going to do?
To be 1-5 right now.
Look, we got a great show planned today. It's Michigan State week. So we'll look at the state of both programs coming up at 8:30. Top of the hour, we'll get to our NFL Power Rankings Week 8. We'll start taking callers, 313-552-6322. The number is pinned at the top of the Woodward Sports chat, so make sure you check it out. Great show planned. Maybe tomorrow we'll bring on Anthony Broom, talk some Michigan football. I'm just going to say it from now, and we'll get to them in a little bit. But Michigan State's going to get murdered on Saturday.
I don't know about that. I'm telling you.
I hope you're right.
I think they'll lose, but I think that narrative of they're going to get destroyed, it's like you don't think State, this is their game. Like this is what their eyes are focused on this year. And they don't have Kenneth Walker. But still, I don't think it's going to be an absolute decimation. We'll see.
Yeah, look, I don't care. They suck.
And
It's
you're
not
right about
looking
that.
good.
They
And
do
you know
suck.
what? Michigan State have a history of
can't run the
showing
football.
up and playing above their level in that game. I don't care. But we'll get to that in a little bit. Let's bring it back a little bit on the Lions and Dan Campbell. This is a coach who, verbatim, after a loss, after a 1-5 start, stands up there at the podium and tells all of you who work 9 to 5, 6, maybe some of you 7 days a week. You bust your ass, you don't see your kids much, and all you want to do is go home and enjoy your Sundays watching the Lions play football. You know what Dan Campbell has to say after that loss on Sunday? He sits up there and says, dude, verbatim, dude, you change a couple of those plays, man. You play your game plan the way you should, man. All of a sudden, you start winning. Can we get a round of applause for Dan Campbell? Wow. Wow, he figured it out, man. He figured it out. I mean, that is insane to me. He's got the magic formula. He figured it all out. Black matter, black magic, whatever you want to call it, he's got it. The Lions will never lose another game again because Dan Campbell came out and said, you know what, man? If you execute your game plan, man, if you don't turn the ball over, man,
Well,
if you make the plays you're supposed to, man.
Against Dallas, he's
suddenly
kinda correct there,
You start
but-
winning games. Dude, kiss my ass. You are 0-11-1 on the road.
That's the problem.
Coming off a bye week, 8 penalties, 5 turnovers. Nobody talks about that,
Yeah,
right?
the penalties.
It's the players, Adam. Jared Goff underthrew the ball. It was an interception. Jared Goff took a sack when it should have been a touchdown. Jeff Okudah is playing so well.
Jamal fumbling at the
Shut
1 yard
up.
line.
Shut up. Adam, it was Jamal Williams who fumbled, not Dan Campbell. He can't run in the touchdown. He can't score.
That's very true.
Save it. Save
What do you
it.
think? Dan should have
Save it.
carried the ball instead of Jamal, who's never had a fumble in his career.
Save it.
Come on.
He's better off playing in the NFL than he is coaching. He has no
my
he
God.
has nothing, no qualification, no experience, nothing. He ain't got it. It doesn't take a genius to sit there and say, oh man, that guy can coach. Oh, that guy's a turd. What do you know, Detroit? You hired another turd. And he's 4-18-1. You know who else was 4-19 through their first 23 games?
Here we go.
Marty Morningwig. Jim Schwartz. Well, Adam, Jim Schwartz, he won 10 games his third year, Adam.
And
I will give you that.
and
Because Jim Schwartz had a very bad start year 2. And you know what he did? They put together a string of wins down the stretch.
Right.
And then it was like, all right, let's bring back Jim Schwartz. He brings you 10 wins, and you're like, all right, you know what? That was the right decision.
Right.
We're 10-6.
Good defense.
Close to competing for the division. There is no reason why in year 4 under Jim Schwartz, you can't win the division. Guess what, Detroit? You did it. And then you got rid of him. And then you brought in Jim Caldwell. And the rest is history from there. For some reason, I keep being told I need to be patient. Why? Brian Dable has no business winning in the NFL with Daniel effing Jones. Daniel Jones, do you guys he's a running back. He is a running back, playing quarterback. So is Justin Fields. Zach Wilson. Robert Saleh is literally taking the football out of Zach Wilson's hands and saying, kid, you suck. Go bang your mother's friends. I'm going to go out here and win football games. That's what Robert Saleh is telling Zach Wilson. I'm going to hand the ball off. I'm going to play defense. I'm going to focus on what I can do well because this kid sucks.
Right.
And he can't throw a football. He can't make the reads. He can't do a damn thing.
It's the Bears' game plan last
But
night.
I need to be patient, right? Jared Goff isn't enough. A top 3 O-line in the NFL isn't enough. Any running back that could run behind that offensive line isn't enough. Amon-Ra St. Brown, none of these guys are good enough. T.J. Hawkinson, who I was told is the second coming of Travis Kelce, he's nothing more than Eric Ebron, but that's not enough, right? You draft a kid at number 2 overall as a pass rusher, that's not enough. You get a safety in the 3rd round, that's not enough. How much more do I need to give you for you to just win a road game? What do I need to do? Do I need to get on my knees for you, Dan Campbell? What do I need to do? What do I need to do? I'm sick enough. I don't have time for this. Go win football games. It's not hard. This is such an ABC business.
Right.
If you win, you're praised. If you lose, you're criticized. If you lose, you are criticized. It's that simple. And more often than not, 4 out of the 23 games, you have been able to sit up here and say, good job, Dan. 4-18-1. Jeff, Fish could be the head coach of the Lions and have that record. Kick rocks. What advantage do you have going into Sunday? I need to be patient.
Right. And
Kiss my ass.
That's my biggest concern, too. You look around the league, Brian Dable, his first year as a head coach, road win. You look at even the Chicago Bears, Matt Eberflus, road win. Atlanta Falcons this year, road win. Go win a game you're not supposed to win. Like that's all I ask. So far, Dan arguably has won. And that was Arizona last year when they were a dumpster fire on the back half of last season. So it's tough. I mean, I asked this question. I'm going to continue to ask this question. My problem with Dan Campbell is, what advantage does Dan bring on a week-to-week basis from a coaching perspective?
I'll tell you.
That's what I need to know.
He does one thing no other coach does, and he does it exceptionally well.
Don't say drink Venti coffee.
He spends $14 a day in the morning at Starbucks. That's what he does.
And listen,
He spends $14 a day at Starbucks, and he does it to an elite level. No coach is even close to where he's at.
Listen, you love the human being, but can you coach?
I don't want to love my head coach. I don't want to love my head coach.
Right.
I don't want to love anybody. F all of you. I have zero love to give to any of you. I do. I'm sorry. I don't have any love for any of you. All I care about is this football team winning games. They can't win football games under this head coach. Whether he puts together a great game plan, whether he puts together a crappy one, whether it's him blowing calls, giving extra possessions to the other team, being a total goof, it doesn't matter what he does. They lose every game. More often than not. But I need to be patient. Let's go back to the year 2000, all right? Since the year 2000, the Lions have finished 4th, 5th, 4th, 4th, 3rd, 3rd, 4th, 3rd, 4th, 4th, 3rd, 2nd, 4th, 3rd, 2nd, 3rd, 2nd.
A lot of participation trophies.
4th, 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 4th.
Oh.
4 straight years, bottom of the division. This year will be the 5th straight.
Sounds like a problem at the top.
No, Jeff. You just got to be patient. You just got to be patient, buddy. Everything is all good. Phone lines are open, 313-552-6322. Make sure you guys call in. We want to hear your thoughts on Dan Campbell, where the Lions are at, what progress, if any, they've made. Why, hell, feel free. Call in and tell me why I should be patient. Please entertain me this morning. I would love to hear it. The phone lines are open. Fish will answer them. You're all more than welcome to call in. Tell me why I should be patient. Give me one. Hell, give me two. Maybe in a weird world, maybe you give me 3 examples, 3 reasons why I should trust Dan Campbell. And if you're able to do that, I'll get on my knees for you this morning. But more likely than not, you can't. So, having said that, jam-packed show today. We'll take callers coming out in a little bit. We'll get to Michigan State at 8:30. 8:45, what's going on with DeAndre Swift? We have to have that conversation. Top of the hour, NFL Power Rankings as usual on a Tuesday. We'll take some more calls. We'll go to the Twitter poll and see what the people believed, what the people believe the Lions should do with the number 1 overall pick if the season ended today.
Yep.
And then, of course, we have some Pistons talk. Later on, they play the Washington Wizards tonight. So we'll get to all that and more. But before we do, Jeff, our good friends over at the Sports Marketing Agency.
Well, the Sports Marketing Agency helps spread awareness about mental health and substance abuse. Their new podcast called This is the S Word helps fight the stigma on seeking help. If you or someone you know is struggling, head to thesportsma.com for more information.
Woodward Sports is giving you another chance to sit front row, this time at the Detroit versus Green Bay game. Think you have the best Dan Campbell impression?
Woodward Sports, let's go.
Can you say man with the best of them?
I got it. Here's what I need, man. I need you to trust me. I swear to God, I'm not a lunatic. I swear to you.
Can you say, let's go for it on 4th down?
Man, I got a plan, I swear to you. All I think about is you guys. That's all I think about, man.
Are you a master motivator?
That's all I think about is you guys.
Show us in a video. Record your best Dan Campbell impression and post the video on Twitter or Instagram using hashtag Woodward Front Row. We'll select the best 3 impersonations of Motor City Dan Campbell and send you and a guest front row. So knock the dust off the old sweatpants, light some kneecaps, and enter today. And as always, go Lions, man!
I just need you to trust me. That's all. Please.
I don't care if I got 1 toe, 2 butt cheeks, and a rock.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1, what's your why? More epic energy, better sleep, blow off steam? Step 2, join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3, bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
Woodward Avenue, the first paved road in America. Woodward Sports, the first sports network born in Detroit and made for Detroit.
Do you think you have a better arm than Jared Goff? Well, I have the place for you. It's Fulling Warehouse in Hamtramck because it's the home of the original football bowling game. 2 to play for $12, the unlimited open play, or you could pay $120 for a lane reservation for up to 10 people. $2 mystery beer machine, full bar. Check it all out, FullingWarehouse.com.
Oh, yeah. Well done, Fish. I love that. That is so perfect for what this morning's going to be. Well done, Fish. 8:15, Tuesday morning, downtown Birmingham, Planet Fitness Studios. We are live here on the Morning Woodward Show over at woodwardsports.com. Phone lines are open, 313-552-6322. Feel free to call in. Share your thoughts on Dan Campbell, the Detroit Lions, their start to the season, their 1-5 start, I should say. And you know what? I've been really thinking about this. I always try to look past the obvious, right? Obviously, they're a 1-5 football team, Jeff. There's nothing I could tell you that would change that or have you feel any better or worse about it. But I really want you guys to pay attention to what Dan Campbell says, right? It's always very important. You ask yourself, what is he saying? Why is he saying it? And when I have a head coach who in training camp, during Hard Knocks, is crying on the sideline, crying on the field, saying, I have a plan, everybody. I have a plan. All I ever think about is you. I mean,
he's passionate.
Passionate, sure.
But can he
whatever
coach?
word you want to use to
Right.
cover it up. I see somebody that is way in over his head, who is over-communicating, who is trying extremely hard to not only be liked, but be accepted as a coach.
Right.
And I posed this question last night. I did it on the show yesterday, and I would love for all of you to answer this. Call in right now, 313-552-6322. And I want you to tell me, if the Lions don't hire Dan Campbell, where is he right now? Where? Where is he? Is he the Giants head coach? Is he the Jets head coach? Maybe he's the Falcons head coach.
I would assume he's an assistant in New Orleans.
He's an assistant.
He would stay there, yeah.
Oh, so he wouldn't be an offensive coordinator?
No.
He wouldn't be a defensive coordinator?
Mm-mm.
Oh.
He would not.
Oh, whoopsie daisy. Oh, yeah. Not even a coordinator job? Let alone a head coaching position around the NFL. Only the Lions, where you can get up, you can pull out your phone, and you know what? Right now, if I had Sheila Ford-Hamp's phone number, I could call her right now. Hey, Sheila, look, I really like the Lions. I really like the job. I think it's a great opportunity. Listen, honey, I know nobody wants the job because you sucked. Your father sucked. Your mother sucked. Everybody sucked. But hey, let me tell you something, honey. You give me this job, I'm telling you, I'll make everybody feel better, man. I'll do everything the right way, man. That's what I get to deal with. That's how Dan Campbell gets his head coaching job, by cold calling Sheila. And then I, again, have to be told I need to be patient. And I'm being too difficult. And I'm too negative. And I'm the problem.
I think 31 other teams wouldn't even take that phone call. Or wouldn't go as far as to hire him if he cold called. Lions did interview Robert Saleh, Arthur Smith. So, had opportunities, but I think they just, like we talked about this months ago, too. I feel like Dan Campbell was an overcorrection. They went for the human being, the culture builder. But how do you build culture if you can't win games?
Think about it.
Specifically, you can't win on the road.
Think about it from a relationship standpoint, right?
Right.
You're coming out of a pretty bad relationship, verbally abusive. The dude doesn't treat you well, or the girl, whatever, vice versa. I don't care what role you want to play in this, right? And then you find somebody else who's too nice, too attentive, too on top of you, too much love, too much affection, and you're like, oh, whoa, it's too much. Where's the balance? Now, I'm not saying it's okay to choke out somebody or swear at them, but what I'm telling you is there's a balance to everything. And Dan Campbell has no balance. All he knows is venti and full go. All gas, no brakes. That's all he knows. He knows nothing about coaching. And I'm sorry, look, I'm probably talking to a wall right now, to be honest with you, because I think we all agree that's Sheila's guy. She's not getting rid of him anytime soon.
No, signed a 6-year contract.
He will be here next year, even if they finish 2-15. You know why? Because that's Sheila's guy. And she's no different than her mother and no different than her father. And I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear I have to be patient. I don't want to have to hear any of it. But let's go out to Marcus and Ypsilanti. Dan Campbell sucks. You tell me why, Marcus.
I'm like you, Adam. I'm not really sold on Dan Campbell, and I don't want to play the patient game because we're literally seeing teams that was in the same position as us overachieve. When I see a coach that, like you said, over-communicate but not necessarily executing what he's preaching, at this point it's nothing but just words. I want to see action.
Yeah, look, I'll tell you what. Yeah, look, Marcus, I'll tell you what. Great phone call. I'll tell you this much, man. The reality is I don't have time, and neither should you, to sit and accept failure on a day-to-day basis. Brad Holmes is giving you 5, 6, potentially 7 starters, now with Jameson Williams set to come back in a few weeks.
I don't...
What more could I ask for? Yes, free agency wasn't ideal. But like Marcus said, why should I, the individual, have to be patient with a product that's lost everything since I can even remember how to tie my shoes? It's ridiculous. Let's go out to Jason in Albany. Jason, you're on the morning show. What do you got for us, buddy?
Is he on, Fish?
Jason, you there, buddy?
You there? You got me?
Yep, hear you now, buddy.
How you doing, Jason?
I'm good. Yo, Adam, I hate to tell you, I called you last week. I hate to call in and tell you I told you so, but you had your hopes up. You know, probably feeling good going into the half, but I knew as a 43-year-old, 30-year Lions fan, that shoe was going to drop. So that's my thing still stands. Brad Holmes trade every second-round draft pick for the next 10 years, get some players. Now to my main point, here's what needs to start happening. Let me ask you a question first. What's Dan Campbell's job? What's his main job? As a coach of the football
to clap on the sideline.
To clap on the side. That's exactly. Throw your headphones down. Say, man, motivate the team. Talk too much at the stand. His job is to develop talent. That is his job. Now, Brad Holmes, we know, has at least 7 brain cells. I got faith in him. I'm going to be patient. I see his vision. I know what he's doing. What Brad Holmes needs to do right now, today, is start re-engineering the vision for this upper brass. He needs to disassociate from Brad Holmes, because it's not his guy. Dan Campbell was here before Brad Holmes. He needs to start re-engineering the vision and start selling.
Let me stop you there, Jason.
Okay.
That is the equivalent, Jason. And thank you for the phone call,
Appreciate
by the way.
you, Jason.
Well done. But Jason, asking Dan Campbell to do what you just said is like me going to a local elementary school teacher, pulling her into the ER, and having her perform open heart surgery on a patient. What are we doing?
Yeah, he's not qualified.
What are we talking about? Well done, Jason. Appreciate the call. Let's go to Justin out in Syracuse. Justin, you're on the Morning Woodward Show. What do you got for us, buddy? Tell me why I need to be patient. Please. Entertain me.
Oh, Adam. It's not only you. It's everybody at the network freaking out. Like, I found myself agreeing with Tom Mazzola yesterday, and that never happens. So, Brad Holmes told us that it's going to take 2 years. I look at and I think about Big D Energy. What's his name? Anyway, I think about the salary cap situation.
Neil Rule.
Like Neil Rule, exactly. He talks about the salary cap. We have Tom Anzalone only because we absolutely have to. We're still paying Jamie Collins and Trey Flowers $20 million. That is a lot of money, and our defense absolutely lacks talent, and that $20 million could have gone.
Well, let me tell you this, Jason. Justin. Let me tell you this, Justin. You're right. That $20 million hurts. You would love to see it out on the field. I would agree. Having said that, the New York Giants had no money available to them this offseason. They spent it all on Kenny Golladay. They have an awful salary cap. You know what they did? They didn't make excuses. They drafted well, like Brad Holmes has done. And they went out and they put together a game plan that would protect Daniel Jones, put him in a 5, 6, 7-man set at the offensive line, protect him overwhelmingly, run deep crossing routes, intermediate crossing routes, underneath routes, and give him a basic 1-2-3 option where the kid doesn't have to think because he just can't process the game. That's not his strength. They made it simple for Daniel Jones, and somehow, someway, the Giants are 6-1. Excuse me? Excuse me? Talk to me about $20 million on the cap.
Yeah.
The Giants had nothing.
And I think the Falcons, I would even bring up as a slightly better example because it's pretty comparable. And I get that handicaps you defensively, but still, to be 1-5, and if you look at the context of some of those games, I think it's more than just not having money, which I understand. That's the reason why Brad didn't go out and spend a bunch of money this offseason. You extended Charles, you got DJ Chark, you got Deshaun Elliott. That was about it. That's all he could do. So I'm with the caller, but I don't know about that. Falcons, they're 3-4. Look at their defense, besides Grady Jarrett.
The Seahawks traded Russell Wilson for future picks.
Mm-hmm. And that defense has
And you know what they did?
Jordan Brooks.
They went from being the worst team in the division
to
currently
Jamal.
the most balanced team. And you know what happened? Let me remind everybody, just so maybe we're all on the same page now.
Mm-hmm.
You traded Russell Wilson in the offseason. Jamal Adams was murdered prior to the season. DK Metcalf carted off the field. Oh, wait, we want to talk about injuries? Let's go to New York, losing Evan Neal mid-game. Let's go to Jacksonville, losing your players mid-game. Let's go to, I don't know, Robert Saleh and the Jets, losing Breece Hall mid-game. Everybody has injuries. Everybody loses their Tracy Walker. The Seahawks did.
Yep.
The Jets lost their best offensive weapon for the season in Breece Hall. The Lions are sitting here rubbing their nipples about DeAndre Swift when he comes back. Let me tell you, Adam, we're going to have it all figured out.
DeAndre was, man, that offense is night
I
and
don't care what
day.
he was. He's not available.
He isn't. Which
If
we'll
I
talk
have
about
Tom
that.
Brady, prime Tom Brady, sitting on my bench because he's injured, what use is that for me? If I had Barry Sanders back in the day, playing 4 games a year only, what use is that to me?
No, it's not.
Nothing.
Best ability is availability.
But it's only a good excuse for the Detroit Lions. Right? And I forget that the Giants, the Jets, the Seahawks, forget that any of these teams, the Chargers who are 4-3, J.C. Jackson, Mike Williams, Rashawn Slater, you name it, they got problems. The Dolphins not having their quarterback for the first few games after going down to a 3-0 start. Oh, you want to bring up Jacoby Brissett and the Cleveland Browns? P.J. Walker and the Carolina Panthers finding ways to win games. But for some reason, I am the bad guy. I am too harsh.
Right.
We need to be patient. Give Dan Campbell time. Austin, you're on the Morning Woodward Show. What do you got for us, buddy?
What's up, Austin?
Hey, guys. How's it going? So,
Good.
My whole frustration with it all is that you came out in the first 3 weeks of the season and you showed me the number 1 offense in the NFL. And then I'm not supposed to have expectations after that? Like, I'm expecting you to compete in the division at that
Well, let me ask you this,
And
Austin.
I get there's debate.
Let me ask you this, because I think that is fair. But how realistic, and Jeff and I talked about this, how sustainable was that, even if everybody was healthy?
Right.
Did any of us legitimately think they were 30, 32 points a game? Probably not. You probably figured by the end of the year they would be somewhere between 24, on the upside near 27. Is that fair? Because I would agree, but I also have to pause a little bit and say I do think what they showed us in the beginning was a bit more than anybody should not only expect, it's not a reality for this football team, no?
Yeah, you have to expect that to level off at some point. It's not a video game. They're not going to come out and put up 40, 30 points a game. But like when you're competing with those teams like Philly, you're in that game. You cost yourself that game with some really awful coaching decisions. You go to Minnesota and you have to win that first road game to set the tone for the year. You play okay on offense and you get by defensively there. You almost dominate Minnesota until the very end of the game. Like, I just saw more going forward with the team, and then it just kind of spiraled into this god-awful defensive everything, and you just really see the deficiencies on defense when the offense isn't playing as well, too.
Well, that's what kills me, Austin, because the reality is when the defense plays well, the offense doesn't show up. When the offense plays well, the defense doesn't show up. And if both play well, special teams will cost you a game. And if all 3 phases of the game go well, your head coach will cost you the game. For some reason, under this head coach, no matter what happens, they find a way to lose football games. Brian Dable has all the excuses in the world. Kenny Galladay? Kadarius Toney?
Ugh.
Bellinger's out for the year, their tight end rookie, who was their starter, losing Evan Neal for the season, a makeshift offensive line, Leonard Williams in and out of the lineup to start the year. Excuses. Appreciate the call, Austin. Well done. Well done. Let's take a few more callers. Actually, you know what? We have to hit a break. When we get back, we'll take a few more callers, and then we'll get to Michigan State. All that and more coming up in just a bit. But before we go, I got to tell you to come to Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for an award-winning haircut experience and register for a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to win a down payment for the home of your dreams. Up to $200,000. Lady Jane's open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
The biggest rivalry in the state is almost here. That means one thing, the biggest tailgate party in the state. Join Woodward Sports for our tailgate takeover before the U of M versus State game on October 29th. Will Harbaugh and the boys pull out the win? Or is Tuck still coming? We will find out at the Big House. Michigan legend Braylon Edwards will be handing out food, prizes, and much more. So no matter what team you root for, come party with the network that does it best. The Woodward Sports Network. The tailgate takeover, powered by Custom Health Centers, Syntron, and Planet Fitness.
Woodward Sports, you see the name!
The sports marketing agency would not be who we are without great community partners like Higuera Health and Carol Zuniga.
It's an awesome opportunity to partner with your organization. Higuera Health is a comprehensive behavioral health organization. We serve children through older adults with mental health, substance use, and developmental disabilities across Western Wayne counties, and really excited to now be in downriver communities as well. Give us a call at 734-458-4601.
You don't have to go to the beach, man. You don't have to get your butt crack full of sand. You just need a little chili peppers, man, to get that glowing beach chili peppers tan. Woo!
With 26 locations in the Metro Detroit area and more coming, Chili Peppers Tanning is where you'll find the cleanest salons in the D. Join the Pepper Club for the best deals on unlimited tanning. Head to chilipepperstanning.com.
You just need a little chili peppers, man.
We are the network for Detroit by Detroiters. Welcome to the Woodward Sports Network.
This Thursday, join Armani, Edwards, and Maz live in Dearborn at the Michael Phillips Keller Williams office. Braylon, Ryan, and Maz will be on site. Braylon will be doing meet and greets at 4:30 after the show, and make sure you stick around for Trunk or Treat in the Keller Williams parking lot at 6 p.m. Food trucks, costumes, and more, all brought to you by Michael Phillips and his wonderful staff at Keller Williams. I can't wait. I'm excited for Thursday.
Oh, it's going to be good. And we go to Planet Fitness.
Be in my hometown.
We go to Planet Fitness tomorrow as well.
Planet Fitness tomorrow. Can't wait. See my people out in Dearborn.
Good shows planned up.
Oh, man. You know what's... I want all of you to really kind of digest what I'm about to tell you. We're going to get into Michigan State in a few minutes. But I want all of you to really grasp this. Hold it near and dear to your hearts, all of you. Matt Eberflus and the Chicago Bears, through 7 games this year, have won more road games than Dan Campbell has in 23 games coached for the Detroit Lions, and has as many wins as Dan Campbell had last season, going 3-13-1. And if the Bears win another game next week and the Lions don't, or if the Bears win 2 of their next 4 and the Lions win 1 of their next 4,
he's past him.
He's equal
tied.
to Dan Campbell, having played 17 less
And now,
games.
mind you, that defense, but it's really the offense I'm looking at. It's anemic, and they're able to score 30-plus on the Patriots.
I understand, but Jeff...
But defensively, they do got playmakers.
They have Roquan Smith. They have Jaquan Brisker, rookie, nice safety.
Robert Quinn had like 18.5 sacks last year.
But what was the conversation about the Bears? The Bears acknowledged they were going into a rebuild.
Mm-hmm.
You know what they're doing? They're winning games. The Giants have been a rebuild. They're winning games. The Jets were a clear rebuild when Saleh took over. They're winning games.
But you know what's a sprinkle?
The Falcons were a clear rebuild when Arthur Smith took over. They're winning games.
You know what's even better? Those 3 head coaches, they brought identities to their football teams.
I don't know what an identity is because I think Dan Campbell has the best identity in the NFL.
Matt Eberflus?
Nobody can match him.
Defensive coach?
Yep.
Defense
At least
looks
he has
good.
a specialty. But you know what Dan's specialty is?
Oh.
That venti coffee,
What
baby.
is it?
That venti coffee.
Well, he's a culture changer.
He's a culture changer, right? At least he drinks coffee every morning. You know, at least you can get that out of him.
But culture and winning goes, in my opinion, hand in hand. So, we'll see.
Tony D in the Woodward Sports Chest says, Adam, it's more than just Motor City Dan Campbell. Your hate for him is consuming you and your show and life. Tony D, my friend, my good friend, I hope you have a great rest of your Tuesday, but I unfortunately have to tell you to lick my nuts. Lick my nuts and do me a favor, drive to Allen Park and lick Dan Campbell's nuts, because I'm not making excuses for anybody. If this show wasn't performing, if it wasn't getting views, if it didn't have high engagement, if it didn't have traction and month-to-month growth, we wouldn't be sitting here. Welcome to business. Welcome to real life. I know all you want to coddle the Detroit Lions and you want to protect them. Grow the hell up. Dude sucks.
And listen, we had this conversation yesterday, although I don't think that loss on Sunday against the Cowboys is all on Dan Campbell. You're talking about his tenure here. Like, people, I think, get that mixed up. Because during his tenure here, you can bring up quite a few examples of Dan Campbell doing Dan Campbell things. But on Sunday, we're not talking about just Sunday, because you can go back and watch our show yesterday. We had that conversation. You're talking about the tenure, his entire year and a half here as the Detroit Lions head coach. And if you look at that context, it ain't pretty.
All right,
it ain't pretty.
Michigan State week, arguably one of the best weeks in college football.
Oh, it's the best, at least locally.
Oh, this is a tough one. All right, so Jeff, you talk me off a ledge, and you do your best. I think Michigan absolutely dominate Michigan State this Saturday.
Well, it is at Ann Arbor. It is
48,
it is at the
50
big house.
points minimum. I don't see it. I don't know how Michigan State is supposed to stop the run. Blake Corum, arguably a Heisman frontrunner at the moment, alongside Stroud, Bryce Young, Caleb Williams, Hendron Hooker. Like, he is part of that conversation, whether you want to anoint him or not. The truth is, his numbers are better than Derrick Henry, Mark Ingram were at this stage of the season when they won their Heisman. He's on an undefeated team. They will likely run the table leading up to Ohio State. So he's in the conversation whether you like it or not. But Mel Tucker 2-0 against Michigan, I don't see it going to 3-0. I think Jim Harbaugh, Michigan, really put on a statement win, and they dominate Michigan, Jeff.
Yeah, it's crazy, too. And by the way, I got to give credit for that one to myself. For about 3 weeks ago, we had our college football show on Saturday, and I said, this is before Blake was still having great games, but it's very early on in the season. I said, if there's a Heisman candidate out of Michigan, it's Blake Corum. I mean, that's what it is. And you see how well he's been playing, and he's trending that way. But for the matchup itself, it's interesting because Jim Harbaugh came out and said, this is the best wide receiver core we faced this season. So he's well aware of what they're facing offensively. Now, they don't have Kenneth Walker, and that was a big reason why last year they had the lead. Cade threw for over 300 yards. Cade threw for over 300 yards, but K9 came to play. They don't have that type of player this year. I mean, Broussard and Berger have not had those type of performances. That offensive line is still struggling. I still think Michigan's going to win this, Adam, but all I'm saying is Michigan State always comes for these games. They come to play. And it's funny because I was looking at, historically, and you can go back to 2019 when Michigan absolutely blew the brakes off of Michigan State. They won 44-10. In that year, Michigan State was kind of in the similar area they were now, just a little under 500. But something tells me this isn't going to be a complete blowout. I know it's in Ann Arbor. I know it's J.J. McCarthy. He's getting more and more comfortable. It seems like he's getting better. And this defense is a lot deeper than last year. And that's something I'm going to be looking for, because if you look at Michigan State and you look how they match up with Michigan, they're allowing over 150 yards per game rushing. And you're facing arguably the best offensive line in college football with that tandem of Donovan Edwards and Blake Corum.
What did they do against Penn State, which was a top 5 rush defense?
Destroyed them at the line of scrimmage.
How many yards? Over 400?
Yeah, 400 yards. Over 100 from both of those guys. So it's a recipe for disaster, but I think Michigan State will come to play.
Maybe Hazleton is getting a lot of unnecessary gripe, criticism, whatever you want to call it. Maybe, just maybe. But if we were in the Roman days and we were at the Coliseum, Hazleton would be dragged out and fed to the lions. And you know what's going to happen Saturday? Jim Harbaugh's going to point that thumb down.
Oh, no.
They're going to run for another 300-400 yards against Michigan State, and it's not going to be pretty.
That offensive line it's even better than last year. It really is. So I feel like, again, one thing Jim acknowledged too, and I was listening to an interview, is him talk about Jacoby Windman and his ability to force fumbles, get after the quarterback. I just don't see him making an effect this game like he's had previously. Like this is a different offensive line. If you can't get pressure on J.J. McCarthy, he's going to pick that secondary apart.
Let me ask you this.
I mean, that's the reality.
We understand Michigan State's secondary is one of their weaknesses, yes?
Yes,
Let's
correct.
say you stack the box and you commit to stopping the run against Michigan, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Let's walk through that. All right, cool. 7, 8 people in the box. Are you comfortable leaving your secondary players one-on-one with no safety help against Ronnie Bell?
JJ has shown previously he missed a couple of those throws,
even
but
if he
can.
misses them, you don't want to give them the opportunity.
No,
Roman Wilson, you want to give them 7, 8, 10 yards of separation at the line of scrimmage? Well, they're going to run that bubble screen, and they're going to beat you for a big play. So I don't see it. And maybe by Friday, having talked to Michigan State people that we'll bring on the show, some of you convinced me maybe that Michigan State has a chance. And by default, it's a rivalry game. They'll wake up for it. They'll be aggressive.
This is the big game all season.
But there was just such a difference last year. The person who should have won the Heisman Award, and Kenneth Walker, put on a display you have never seen in the history of the Michigan State rivalry. A 5-touchdown performance, put the team on his back, and won them that game. That's what Kenneth Walker did. And what do you have this year? I like Peyton Thorne. I do. Jaden Reed. I like it.
Life's different without K9, though.
Keon Coleman. I like it. They have some athletes that can run the football, but come on. There's levels to this game. Michigan are here, and Michigan State are all the way here. There's just a significant difference. I don't see it. Michigan win big, and I don't know how I'm supposed to change my mind going into Friday.
The big thing for me, and what I'm going to be watching this weekend, is who pops on that Michigan defense. It's been Mike Morris and Mozzie Smith.
Very been phenomenal.
A lot of depth on that defense. A lot of guys who can get after the quarterback. But we saw last year, at least Aiden, he made some plays, and we all know that controversial, was his knee down or not when he fumbled the ball. It didn't even matter. But I'll tell you this, it's going to be a big game for that defensive line. They're going to have to get after Peyton Thorne because life's different without K9. And we always make jokes. You can crack jokes. Yeah, Mel Tucker owes K9 a check for what happened last year. But the reality is, if you can't run the football, Michigan State, this is going to get out of hand quickly. I'll tell you that. Because that's really the thing they had going for them last year. The thing that opened up things for Jalen Naylor, Jaden Reed, is that you had K9 in the backfield. If you can't run the football and that Michigan defense at least can get home only rushing 4, you are screwed.
Yeah, look, don't get me wrong.
But I do think it'll be closer.
Every bone in my body is rooting for Michigan State because I would love nothing more than to show up on Monday.
I don't know if I'm ready for that.
Whip out the hookah.
I don't know if I'm ready.
And have a Victory Monday celebration the way I know how to have them.
Oh.
Believe me, I just don't see it. I just don't see it. There is such a talent difference. Michigan are rolling. They've had 2 weeks to get ready for this game. So have Michigan State. But I don't see it. I don't know how you stop Michigan's run game. I just don't. There's not a team on the schedule.
No.
And you thought it would be Iowa. You thought it would be Penn State. And they both struggled. It didn't matter.
And what they did to Penn State, too, like that was the biggest, I guess, eye-opener this season. Because Michigan, you can give them, you can come at them for their lack of strength of schedule early on in the season. But what they did to Penn State, dominating at the line of scrimmage, their offensive line, their defensive line, and they're more talented than Michigan State, like that's got to worry you. And that's at the Big House. So it's going to be packed. And I know Michigan is super motivated to win this game. They're 2-0, like you said. Mel Tucker's 2-0 against Jim Harbaugh. This has got to be the game they win. They got bigger aspirations than just this game. They want to go to Columbus at the end of the year and challenge Ohio State. And it starts here. Go take care of it. Go win by 27-30 against Michigan State, and then go handle Ohio State at the end of the year. So big test for Michigan, but I think they take care of it. I'm not going to sit here and say it's an upset, but something just tells me Mel Tucker's going to have those guys ready to play.
Fair enough. Well, look, let's take a quick pause. When we get back, DeAndre Swift, what the Lions should do with DeAndre Swift coming up in a little bit. But before we go, Jeff, our good friends over at Cintron.
Well, guys, Cintron is the official energy drink of the Detroit Red Wings. And I'll tell you, Cintron has combined all three of their delicious flavors into a limited edition 6-pack sampler box. I'll tell you personally, I come in, I grab a Cintron, it gets me through the morning. Absolutely delicious. You could try their great tasting cranberry, classic, or sugar-free all in one pack. Pre-order your Cintron 6-pack sampler box today at CintronWorld.com/Red Wings. Get energized with Cintron.
Woodward Sports is giving you another chance to sit front row, this time at the Detroit versus Green Bay game. Think you have the best Dan Campbell impression?
Woodward Sports, let's go.
Can you say man with the best of them?
I got it. Here's what I need, man. I need you to trust me. I swear to God, I'm not a lunatic. I swear to you.
Can you say, let's go for it on 4th down?
Man, I got a plan, I swear to you. All I think about is you guys. That's all I think about, man.
Are you a master motivator?
That's all I think about is you guys.
Show us in a video. Record your best Dan Campbell impression and post the video on Twitter or Instagram using hashtag Woodward Front Row. We'll select the best 3 impersonations of Motor City Dan Campbell and send you and a guest front row. So knock the dust off the old sweatpants, light some kneecaps, and enter today. And as always, go Lions, man.
I just need you to trust me. That's all. Please.
I don't care if I got one toe, 2 butt cheeks, and a rock.
New to the game or a season better? OddsTrader.com has everything you need to make the right bet ahead of kickoff. Begin your handicapping journey with OddsTrader. Improve your edge by finding the best price on every game from sportsbooks in your backyard. Take advantage of the numerous sign-up bonus offers to pad your bankroll. Dive into key game statistics, player performance, and even account for the projected game day weather. Best of all, you can use the OddsTrader bet tracker to keep a log of your action. Welcome to OddsTrader, and best of luck.
Hi, I'm John from Better Rate Mortgage, and to me, family is more than blood. That's why I have the biggest family in Metro Detroit. If you're looking to buy a house or refinance and need a loan, come get treated better than family by me and our entire team here at Better Rate Mortgage. We pride ourselves on giving you better advice, better service, and a better loan experience. That's why we are Better Rate. If you're looking for a new mortgage, come get treated like family. Actually, better with Better Rate Mortgage. Visit us at mybetterrate.com or call at 248-480-4467 today.
The only sports network in Detroit that starts with a W. You know, because we win. Woodward Sports, Detroit's winning sports network.
All right, look, guys, the reality is whether you're looking like Maz or looking like anybody else close to you in your life, Custom Health Centers is here to help. Custom Health Centers takes the willpower out of weight loss. Whether you need to lose 20 or 120 pounds like Kyle on the screen, Custom Health Centers will help you do it quickly and, most importantly, safely. Go to CustomHealthCenters.com or give them a call today at 844-789-THIN. That's 844-789-THIN. Fish, you're doing a good job today, I gotta say.
Yeah, Fish is bringing the heat.
Well done, buddy.
Am I not doing a good job every day?
No, you're not.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Fish,
I didn't know.
Don't listen to that guy.
No, I didn't know. I just wanted to know.
Tell him to shut up.
I'm just
I
giving you
gotta
grief,
remember
buddy.
wear my Bear shirt one of these days. I wore the line. I should wear my Bear shirt one of these days.
You kind of, you missed your opportunity.
I bought it for this moment when the Bears win to rub it in his face. I'll get it. If they get it do against the Lions, oh boy. Watch out.
Look, you have every right to stand up there and
Watch
wear
you.
Bears merchandise or whatever you want to call it.
I will.
Yeah, I give you full consent.
I
No
will.
problem.
You better hope they don't do it against the Lions.
How are those sweeping the Bears this season predictions holding up?
How about everyone shuts
Very
the hell
good.
up?
I'm curious.
Let's start there.
I was told we're sweeping them.
Shut up, Jeff.
I mean, we still could.
All right, question this morning.
Absolutely
What is going on with DeAndre Swift, and what should the Lions do with him? As a player that's in his 3rd year, his first year, 800-plus yards from scrimmage. The second year, 1,000 yards from scrimmage. But missed multiple games year 1 and 2, and here we are, year 3, and he's already missed 3 games. 4 weeks, technically, including the bye. He's missed 3 games now.
Yep.
And you are now 0-3 without him, and you're 1-2 with him. Swift is uber talented. He's got all the skill sets you'd want in a modern day running back. He can run the ball hard. He's a home run hitter.
Catch the ball at the backfield.
Catch the ball out of the backfield. Does a lot of things really well.
Yep.
Never available. Can't stand it. Drives me nuts. I don't care how talented you are. If you're not on the field, you are useless to me. So my question to all of you is, what should the Lions do with DeAndre Swift? This is a guy next year will be going into his 4th year. You have to decide whether or not it's time to pay him the big bucks because he was a 2nd-round draft pick. You don't have the 5th-year option. And the reality is he going to command top 5, top 7, top 8 running back money? He could, depending on how many games he plays. And I'm sure there are teams that would be willing to spend that money. And we could have the same conversation about Hawkinson. But regarding Swift, he's your X-factor player on offense. He's the guy where even if a play looks over, it's not. You saw the game against Washington, right? He fell down, ended up getting 7, I believe.
He was on his booty, and he ended up in the end zone.
So I like Swift, the player. Probably a great human.
Right.
If he's not on the field.
Hard worker, too.
What does that mean?
Well, for me, and I'll start with this, no one's denying the talent of DeAndre Swift, and no one's denying the work ethic, by the way. I know his dad is Jack, too, so it runs in the family. A little bit of that John Brown heritage running around. But I think with DeAndre, and this is what really confuses me, because coming out of the draft, DeAndre Swift at Georgia, among the running backs that were selected around him, you had Jonathan Taylor, and other guys too as well. But we'll just use Jonathan Taylor as an example. DeAndre had the least amount of carries in college compared to those guys. So he was coming into the league with, the least amount of at least load on him in college. So you're thinking, okay, so you're getting a guy who is at least has a little more juice than the rest. Like Jonathan Taylor, for example, started all 4 years at Wisconsin, had a ton of carries all through those 4 years. But for Swift, it was like, you know what? You have a guy who has the potential, is very, very good, and you see it right away. But the problem is, and the problem I have, is not about his skill. It's not that he's averaging 8.6 yards per carry right now in the NFL, which leads the NFL in yards per carry. My issue is the games he's missed. And you talked about it, 29 games played through 39 career games. For DeAndre, and this is my theory on it, you get one more year with him, like you said. I think they draft a running back this year. You need depth. DeAndre isn't a guy that can carry this offense. Although as important as he is, and you saw last game, even against Dallas, throwing to the running back, you see the difference? Craig Reynolds, 2-3 yards tackled, or he'd lose yards. That's where DeAndre Swift's value comes in. He's a home run hitter. He can make plays that aren't there. And I think with his value, it's so depressing, at least for Lions fans, because you see the value he has when he's on the field. And I love Jamal, but Jamal is going to be a free agent this year. Are you going to pay Jamal again? Personally, I would rather just go out and draft a running back. But if you want to sign Jamal, that's fine. But that's a guy you're going to have to look for more and more to be your RB1 if Swift's not there. So it's not good for as talented as he is. I mean, you saw it through the first game of the season. I mean, Sam Flannel sat in that same booth and said he'd lead the NFC in rushing. And everyone didn't think he was crazy through 1 week and 2 weeks. And then he was hurt. And I think that's the biggest question for DeAndre, and it's similar to Jeff for me. Is Jeff's playing well, but the number one thing is stay on the field. That's all that matters. The best ability is availability. And with DeAndre Swift, if you're going to command top 5, top 8 running back money, you got to play some games. So in my opinion, you got to draft eventually, Adam. I'm not saying to take one in the first round or the second, but you got to address it.
Would you take a Beydoun Robinson?
I don't think so. Although it's enticing, I think he'll be gone. I think he'll be right around where Najee was drafted last year or the previous year. And I think that'll be around the 20s, maybe even earlier. I don't think the Lions reach that high in a running back, but maybe the second, maybe the third round, you take a running back, you need depth there. You just do. And I love Craig, by the way, but no DeAndre, they struggle. And I love Jamal too, but he's not your running back number one.
Go take it. You're probably looking at taking a running back again in the second round, maybe third round at the latest, early third round. That's the reality. You're not bringing out the Brinks trunk for DeAndre Swift, and honestly, even if he was healthy, you'd still question whether or not you'd want to pay him, because running backs just don't last in the NFL today. They just don't. So look, Swift, dynamic player, uber talented. I could say a lot of good things about him. Doesn't matter. Not available. He's missed 3 games. in 3 consecutive years, 4 games technically last year. Tired of talking about players who aren't available. He was, quote, pushing towards playing against Dallas. Never showed up. In a game where I could argue if he's available,
he's a game changer, Adam. No, you're not wrong. He's a guy that can affect the game. So if he plays, you're right. There's always a chance for things. He can make plays out of nothing. So there's value, but what value does he have sitting on your bench? That's the problem. But you don't have to make a decision for another year. So again, but you have to think about it this offseason. You have to.
You have a good enough offensive line to have a back by committee where you have specialists. I mean, you guys all remember Theo Riddick back in the day, right? You'd bring him in. If you didn't get much on first down, you'd bring him in. Second, third down. You knew third down was likely a pass play, but second down you could threaten and still really hand him the ball off, even a draw on third down. There are ways to get around it. And the reality is, you need to be able to run the ball situationally in the NFL. It's not about having Dalvin Cook. It's not about having Dalvin Cook, Christian McCaffrey, Alvin Kamara, Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry's really nice to have, but my point is, you need to be able to run the ball effectively on first down and then on short situations, short to gain, whether it's third and short, second and short, fourth and short, I don't care. You have to be able to run the ball situationally. Is it nice to have a home run hitter like a Saquon or a Swift? Absolutely. Not how games are won. It's not how games are won. It just isn't. Run the ball effectively on first down, run the ball effectively on second down. Short situations, run the ball effectively. Open up the playbook for your offense. That's the job of the running team. That's all you're asking for.
I love what the Patriots are doing, by the way.
I'm like DeAndre Swift right now. I'm never healthy.
I love what the Patriots are doing with their split backfield. The Ramondre Stevenson and Damian Harris. Those are two guys that are threats from either giving him the football or throwing to him out of the backfield. They're both great backs. But I think that's what the Lions have to trend to. It's got to be I made the argument early in the year. I don't want to see a 70-30 carry share between DeAndre and Jamal. 50-50. I want to see 70-30. I want to see mostly Swift. But again, with new information, I'm allowed to change my mind. Shout out to Big D Energy. And with new information, I do realize now at least, if I didn't realize already, that Swift struggles to stay healthy. And at that point, maybe you do need a 50-50 backfield. Maybe you can't all be DeAndre Swift. And that's unfortunate because he's uber talented.
Look, I didn't put this in the rundown sheet for a reason, but I'll entertain it for the next minute and a half, which is, should the Lions trade for Mac Jones? Do me a favor.
Oh, gosh.
No. What are you going to trade? A second? The Patriots would probably want a first, given his contract. Stop it.
Mac Jones and Goff, to me, are like that meme with the Spider-Man meme pointing at each other. The same Spider-Man. Like, those guys are... Like, I think Mac Jones at his peak is just an above-average game manager. I think he can win you games, and that's pretty much what Goff is right now. So, I'm good on that. You draft your next quarterback.
I'm with you. Whoever it is, you're drafting a quarterback this year.
Yeah.
You're following it up with a big-time playmaker on defense in the first round. Second round, you go after a running back. And yes, you go after a running back. If there is one available to you, you absolutely do it. That's how you get it done. Look at Breece Hall and the Jets. Travis Etienne now with the Jaguars. Draft young. Have young backs that can stay healthy. Granted, Breece Hall just tore his ACL, but you saw what he did for the offense. You have to do it. You have to.
It's incredible.
Defense, running back, quarterback. That's the draft this year. Top of the hour coming up in a little bit. When we get back, NFL Power Rankings. Phone line is pinned at the top of the Woodward Sports chat, 313-552-6322. We'll start taking calls back up again around 9:14, 9:15. We'll get to all the people at home. Should the Lions trade for Mac Jones? Should they trade DeAndre Swift? Should they draft a running back in the second round? So many things we have to talk about, and more to come in the second hour. But before we do, Jeff, the best defense on and off the field.
Let me tell you about it. Guardian Alarm, the opposite of what we've been seeing previous to the Dallas Cowboys game. This is a good defense, by the way. Guardian Alarm, they spend time taking care of you while you're inside, enjoying the winter as it's approaching. And guys, let me tell you, you call 1-800-STAY-OUT today, and you could rest easy knowing you have 24/7 protection. I repeat, that's 1-800.
Stay out,
Tell them, Fish, stay out. Let them know your friends at Woodward Sports sent you.
Wednesday, all 3 shows will be live from Planet Fitness in Madison Heights on 18 and Ryan. Come check it out. You can get Lions tickets, Michigan tickets, also maybe a signed jersey by Darren McCarty, or even the man himself, Braylon Edwards' #1 Michigan jersey. Come out, have fun. Member Appreciation Week. We're going to have a great time. Be there or be square. It's a great day to get some Centron in your life. Okay. There it is. Centron, here we go. Gotta grab the cranberry. Oh wait, it's 2 for $4. Gotta double up with the classic as well. Centron World, baby. Centron, available at select Kroger's, and if you wanna know how, go to @CentronWorld.com. You get dope like me. You know what? Why wait? Great taste, guaranteed.
Get a shot up. This is for the win. All of Detroit's sports teams live on Woodward. All of Detroit's sports coverage lives on Woodward Sports. Driving the best in Detroit sports coverage.
Win front row tickets to see Detroit versus Green Bay. Yes, front row tickets.
Man.
To enter, make sure you record a video of you doing your best Dan Campbell impersonation. Now, you want some little advice from me? Just take your phone, take a GoPro, do whatever you want, take it to work with you, do a bad job for the whole week, the whole day, whatever you want to do a bad job for the whole week, and then boom, you're Dan Campbell suddenly. And make sure you finish every sentence with man. So, having said that, make sure you post it on Instagram, Twitter, or TikTok using hashtag #WoodwardFrontRow, and make sure you're following Woodward Sports, and we will select 3 winners to win a pair of front row tickets for the Detroit versus Green Bay game. The winner will be announced November 4th.
Man.
Let me tell you about my life, man.
Yeah, Jeff, if you would have caught that ball, man, we would have been in a better situation. Just don't turn the ball over. If you don't turn the ball over, we're all good to go. Don't fumble on the 1 yard line. That's all you got to do, man.
Dan Campbell, how about you don't go for it on 4th and 9?
Fisher, you're going to record a Dan Campbell impersonation. You have to.
I mean, I wasn't going to. Should I?
I think you should.
Okay.
And I think I'm going to dress up as Dan Campbell next Monday.
Can we talk about Halloween?
I don't know if I'm ready for that,
Are we doing anything for
Everybody's
Halloween?
allowed to dress up on Halloween, of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have any suggestions that I should dress up as?
I think you should dress up as a Fighting Irish.
Okay.
Should I wear...
I'll hop over to the party store maybe tomorrow and get some Irish gear.
Should I wear my
$12.99?
You should dress up as Jaden Ivey.
No, he should do it. He should get his Blake Griffin $12.99 jersey.
I could wear my... Yeah, you're right. I could wear my $12.99
Blake Griffin jersey.
Dress up as Jeffrey Dahmer.
That I got from TJ Maxx. Oh my God.
That's the spot right there.
No, that's so great. You can pull it off, dude. It's not messed up. What? He killed a few people and ate them. Wow. Guys, come on.
It was more than a few.
Come on. It's Halloween. Have some fun. Dress up as Dahmer, dude. It's a great costume.
I mean, you're gonna see some. You might get canceled, but
he's not getting canceled.
And this guy, Fish.
I'll dress up as Hitler if I want. You guys aren't gonna do anything. Shut the hell up, Alex. You can dress up as I don't know, but I have nothing for you.
The technical geek.
Yeah, technical geek, whatever that is. You dress up as that, Alex. God bless you. Top of the hour, top 10 teams. We do this every Tuesday. Jeff and I release our NFL Power Rankings. So, Jeff, there is one new addition to my top 10 this week, and it is the boys who beat the Detroit Lions. That is the Dallas Cowboys that have kept them out long enough. They found their way into the top 10 this week.
I've not seen your list, by the way, so I'm curious.
Dallas at number 10. My list hasn't changed.
You've seen mine.
Outside of the Chargers exiting the top 10. So let's get to it, Alex. Top 10 teams in the NFL. The top of the screen, you'll see mine. At the bottom of the screen, you'll see Jeff's. Number 10, the Dallas Cowboys. First time appearance in my top 10 all year. The Jets at number 9. Titans, we agree on at 8. You got Miami low for me. Miami with Tua are 4-0 this year. I think Miami are one of the 6-7 best teams in the NFL with Tua available. Granted, he looked a little rusty. It wasn't the best performance. But at number 10, I do think you have Miami a little low. But I understand you kind of giving me the wait and see, Adam.
Especially,
wait and see because they are 4-3.
Especially the fashion in which they won last week. They snuck out of there, which is a win. A win is a win. Excuse me, but still, I got to wait a little bit for the Miami Dolphins. I love them, but
fair enough.
The other teams in front of them are playing better.
They went and traded for James Robinson, so I'm not losing sleep overnight. That it's Michael Carter only. They went out and addressed the backfield. I like it. Also, I am a Travis Etienne fantasy owner, so suck it this morning. I got another running back, and I'm feeling great about it.
Fantasy owner, stand up.
Fantastic. Tennessee Titans at 8. We agree. And you want to talk about a Coach of the Year candidate? Mike Vrabel.
4-1 over the last 5.
4-2
playing
on
great
the season.
Football. Yeah, playing great football.
And doing it
without A.J. Brown.
With no wide receivers. Playing control the clock football, field position, punting, taking field goals. So what do you know? The simpleness of the NFL. You can win games.
Good
so what
coaching.
do you know? I didn't know that. You have this team at 5. I have them at 7. I love what the Bengals have been doing. Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase. Shout out to Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase, by the way, in one of my other fantasy leagues. They are my duo, and they have won me each of my last 2 games. So shout out to them. Having said that, the Bengals defense, I have questions. I'm not seeing the turnovers. I'm not seeing their ability to get after the quarterback. It's not good enough right now. The defense is what's having me hold them out of the top 5, but Jeff, you have the Cowboys at 7. Go for it.
Yeah, I do. I mean, they're 4-1 over their last 5 as well. And the Cowboys, I get, they had a backup, my guy, who I made fun of, by the way, Cooper Rush, didn't know before he started the first game. Pretty impressive. But Dak Prescott's back. I know it was close against the Lions, but overall, you got to give them credit. I mean, that defense, man, is just different. And they're 4-1. Got to give them credit. Have them at 7. But the Giants at 6. And I love how they're playing. I get they're not the most talented, but this list isn't about the most talented teams. It's who's playing the best football. And the Giants, to me, 6-1 on the season. They've proved every bit to me they're a top 6 team. So Giants are in there, baby.
I've got Miami at 10, or excuse me, at 6. You have them at 10. You know how I feel about this team. I believe with Tua, they are a top 5, top 6 team in the NFL. Maybe even top 4.
Yeah, you could be
to be honest with you. You could make the case. They're 4-0 with Tua. Mike McDaniel has that offense humming. They're quick, they're fast, they're innovative. I like it. Having said that, Tua needs to develop a little bit more, but the Miami defense is no joke. Miami in the top 6 this week. For me, they stay at 6. Same as last week. And then my top 5 didn't change outside of the Giants moving up 2 spots.
And this is why I put the Bengals in there. Another team that's 4-1 over the last 5. And it just seems like that Jamar Chase, Joe Burrow connection is like it was last year. And I get defensively you have questions, but they still got talent on that defense. 100%. It's not about personnel. It's more so about things schematically. I think they'll figure it out. And how I judged it really at the end of the day is if the Bengals took on any of those 5 teams behind them, I'll take the Bengals. So they're at 5 for me.
Fair enough. They got the better quarterback, that's for sure. And I think, that's where I struggled this week with the top 5 because I love New York. I love what the Giants are doing. I don't love their quarterback, but I love their head coach a lot more than I love their quarterback, and it is a landslide. I think the head coach has done a phenomenal job so far. They're 6-1. You can't argue results in the NFL. It's a result-based business. You win, you are praised. You lose, you are criticized. Welcome to the NFL, ladies and gentlemen. Top 4, we agree.
Easy.
Verbatim.
Yeah, this is
Vikings, Eagles, Chiefs. Bills, Patrick Mahomes, another classic on the road against San Francisco, has one of his better games. They're number 2 for me. I would agree with you. Number 1 has to be the Bills. The Vikings stay put at 4 for both of us back-to-back weeks, and the Eagles have to drop a spot for both of us. Not because they did anything wrong or that they were on the bye week, but it is, for me, the top 3 is simple. Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, Jalen Hurts. And that's the order. And honestly, I could argue Mahomes at 1.
And that's the quarterback play we talk about. I think that's what's, again, not saying Philly can't do it because they're undefeated this season. But I think the big thing you have to look at is, can Jalen Hurts? I mean, it's quarterback play. That's why you have the Bills and the Chiefs ahead of them because of how they're winning. The quarterback play you're seeing out of Mahomes and Josh Allen. I got to see more out of Jalen Hurts. I think he's good enough to win games, but I just think that's what separates the Eagles from the Chiefs and Bills. I personally think the Eagles might have the most complete roster in the NFL. But I want to see Jalen Hurts really take that next step before I could say, you know what, they're undefeated. That's the best team in football. We'll see. They got some big games coming up.
Fair enough. Well,
but not the best opponents.
A very interesting top 10 this week. Well done. Fringe teams. Anybody miss out? You miss out on the list just barely? For me, Seahawks, Niners come to mind. I would even consider.
I'm going to be honest with you. The amount of upsets we had, I wasn't like
I know the Niners lost, by the way, but I still love their team. I think outside of the Bills,
the Baltimore Ravens I struggled with. They were right outside of this.
Lamar sucks.
I know he does, but they just beat the Browns.
Sucks right now.
I know he does. He had, what do they have, 130 passing yards last game, 100-something passing yards? Again, Lamar's better than that. And Mark Andrews, I don't believe, had a catch last game. So
0.4.
Offense has to get back on track.
Points. This year, he's thrown for 213, 318, 218, 144, 174, 210, and then 120. And what do you know? When he throws the ball, it is funny to me. He's a running back. And look, I like Lamar a lot. He's phenomenal. But when he's not hyper efficient and throwing the ball around perfectly, what is he? When you have clear and obvious drop back, throw the football situations in Baltimore, he struggles.
Yeah, like third
and
long.
I want to give him credit because he does look like he's gotten better. But he's also rushed for almost 600 yards this year.
Right.
61. He's got a 61% completion percentage. I don't see it. 6 interceptions already on the year. I like Lamar. He wins football games. You can't argue that. He's a good quarterback. He's an MVP. He's a lot of good things. He's an elite ball carrier. He's not an elite thrower of the football.
Not yet. And we could talk about how much he's
ever. I don't think ever.
I wouldn't say that.
Do you think 4 years from now we're going to be talking about Lamar Jackson in a fundamental pass-first offense where he drops back and slings it 30, 35 times a game?
How about the Ravens go get some playmakers besides Andrews?
I would agree.
That's my big thing,
But they built that offense around what he does best.
Very true.
Which is run the football.
His elusiveness.
Offensive line, deep at running back, the tight end, fast receivers that run crossing routes, intermediate routes, deep balls. Do you really think Davante Adams would have great rapport with Lamar Jackson? I just don't see it.
Never know.
I just don't.
He had his best season with Hollywood Brown there the first year when he had the MVP season. So
yeah,
we'll see. I just think he needs more playmakers. But you're correct. The one answer he has to, or the question he has to answer would be,
can he drop back and win your football games,
specifically in the playoffs?
And I haven't seen it.
Right.
When we get back, we'll take callers. So, everybody in the Woodward Sports chat. 313-552-6322. That's 313-552-6322. Call in. We want your thoughts on the DeAndre Swift situation. What would you do? The upcoming draft. Who would you draft? Not only with the top pick, but in the second round, third round, would you take a flyer on a running back? I want to know what the people think this morning. So thank you to everybody joining Jeff, myself, Fish, and Alex this morning here on the Morning Woodward Show. Everybody at woodwardsports.com. It is appreciated. Having said that, Jeff, before we go, tell everybody at home about our good friends over at Big Boy.
Well, guys, I know where I'm going to lunch today, and that's Big Boy, because for a limited time only, all new burgers and loaded fries are at Big Boy. It's not just the Slim Jim, it's the Big Jim. They have the chili cheeseburger as well as the bacon blue, but how about upgrading those fries? Chili cheese fries, baked potato fries, nacho fries. Choose what you want. It's all delicious. Satisfy those taste buds at Big Boy.
The biggest rivalry in the state is almost here. That means one thing, the biggest tailgate party in the state. Join Woodward Sports for our tailgate takeover before the U of M versus State game on October 29th. Will Harbaugh and the boys pull out the win? Or is Tuck still coming? We will find out at the Big House. Michigan legend Braylon Edwards will be handing out food, prizes, and much more. So no matter what team you root for, come party with the network that does it best. The Woodward Sports Network. The tailgate takeover, powered by Custom Health Centers, Syntron, and Planet Fitness.
Woodward Sports, you see the name!
Fellas, let's be honest. We like things to be easy. We like simple stuff, like sports 7 days a week. We like things uncomplicated, like Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Sign in, sit down, watch your favorite team play, and before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1. What's your why? More epic energy? Better sleep? Blow off steam? Step 2. Join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3. Bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side.
Lemieux and McCarty, who've had a good knockdown drag up. There they go, right on the whistle. They were talking to one another.
Woodward Sports.
Jeff Iafrate here. Let me tell you about our friends at Chili Peppers Tanning, because if you're like fish and you're white as a ghost, I got the place for you.
Super white.
It's Chili Peppers Tanning, because you'll find all the cleanest salons in the D with spotless, sanitized, and trained and certified tanning professionals. Join the Pepper Club for all the best deals. So they'll beat all competitors by $5. And don't forget, chilipeppers.com. Hottest bulbs, hottest deals, darkest tans. Your Vitamin D headquarters, 27 locations, and more on the way.
Chili Peppers Tan.
Tell them, fish.
Never gets old, fish. Never gets old.
Because you need some checks from Chili Peppers, man. You're always
9:15 in the morning. Planet Fitness Studios.
Hey, should we actually do a whole show, Chili Peppers, where we all tan together? Well, not together, but you get the point. Like, we're all at Chili Peppers
I think
tanning.
the only person that struggles with vitamin D here is you.
I mean,
Fish, I've been tan my entire life.
I am like 7 pounds, so it doesn't surprise me.
Very, very
I don't think I've ever stepped in a tanning booth in my entire life. I mean, have you? Is that like a normal thing?
It is actually, yeah.
Well,
I mean, I've personally done it before.
It's not super normal.
Just because
normal
for me
enough.
personally, I come from
You're Italian. Shut up, olive oil skin. Shut the hell up, Jeff. You're not allowed to have.
I do like some olive oil. Get that
olive oil skin.
Get some bread and some olive
Shut the hell up,
oil.
Fish.
Put some salt and pepper on there.
Shut the hell up, Fish.
Holy.
Fish, are you? Is that
Fish,
Jeff
shut the hell
Dahmer?
up.
What?
You don't put salt and
Fish.
pepper in your olive oil?
Fish. Shut the hell up. Let's go to the people. Rico, you're on the Morning Woodward Show. What do you think of DeAndre Swift? What should the Lions do? Do you keep him? Do you draft a running back? Go for it, bud.
Oh my goodness. Good morning, everybody. Good morning,
Good morning.
Adam. Good morning, Jeff.
Good morning, brother.
Fish. How y'all doing?
Good. How are you?
Hey, so I'm good. So before I do that, I just need to voice my frustration with this team and what they did to me this year, because I'm surrounded by Dallas Cowboy fans all over the place. Okay, and I'm also surrounded by New England Patriot fans all over the place. Okay, what they have forced me to do, thanks to their debacle before the bye week, I now have to wear a Matt Patricia number 29, because that was the number of total points that was scored. I now have to wear a Patriots jersey for Halloween. That's what this team caused me to do. Can't stand it. But moving on.
So not just emotionally, physically too. They're causing you damage.
I drank all the Kool-Aid, bro. I drank all the Kool-Aid thanks to HBO.
Was it Kool-Aid though, Rico?
Hard Knocks. Thank
Was
you.
it Kool-Aid? Because I'll tell you what, Kool-Aid or Rico, and good job by the way. Well done. That to me, it's not Kool-Aid. A top 3 offensive line, a deep, dynamic backfield, weapons on offense, a capable quarterback, a young, offensive-minded offensive coordinator, a defensive coordinator who showed you glimpses going into last season.
Was it the Ryan Armani Kool-Aid, or was it our Kool-Aid? There's a difference.
No,
I
think 80% of the fan base
if you could win
legitimately thought it was a 6, 7, at most 8 win
at
team.
most, I would say. Yeah.
And if Dan Campbell was the second coming of the Messiah, Jesus Christ, Moses, Buddha, whoever, I don't care. If Dan Campbell was that, maybe you could win 9-10 games. Maybe you could. But it's just
He's
always
an intern, y'all.
It's just always a disappointment.
He's an intern.
I know, Rico. I know.
Yeah, he's learning on the job, and the thing about it is, if you compare the resumes of Brad Holmes, where he came from, versus Dan Campbell, where he came from, you look at those two, and you can see the results. Because at least from the draft, we can pretty much say with 85% certainty that we have the right guy at general manager right now. But at coach, absolutely not.
I'm with you,
not.
Rico.
And Sheila just needs to pull the plug. Because you got to raise the standards here.
She
You
won't,
really
and I'll tell you why, Rico. Well done. I'll tell you why she won't.
Great call, Rico.
Great call. Welcome back anytime, Rico. She won't because that's her guy. She appointed Dan Campbell, and she will not acknowledge her mistake less than 2 years in to him being the head football coach of this team.
Stubbornness.
He will be around year 3, even if they start. Let's say they finish the year 2-15 this year, and they start next year 2-4 or 2-5. He'll still be here. It's all good. He's got it. He's in bed. He's good. Dan Campbell is set for life. He's good. He's on the good side of Sheila. That's all that matters. Let's go to Eric out in Detroit. Eric, you're on the Morning Woodward Show. What do you got for us, buddy?
What's up, Eric?
Good morning, guys. What's going on, y'all?
What's going on, brother?
Man, I called in last week with my Dan Campbell impersonation, but I'm back to being serious this week. Man, it's funny because I said it, and y'all said I was crazy at the beginning of the year. I said they was going to win maybe 4 to 5 games. And when they came out with the hot start, I was like, that clock going to start 12 on Jared Goff. Wait till somebody figure him out. And sure enough, Bill Belichick did, and now you see it. He looked like a deer in headlights. But the Lions are always last to figure out what's going on in the NFL. Like the young mobile quarterbacks. I bet you, if we had number 1 pick in the draft, if Bryce Young is there, they're going to pass on him. Sheila going to make them pass on him, and we going to sign some veteran quarterback, or we going to keep Jared Goff. Because they're going to believe in him. Sheila, I think she's a carbon copy of her father and her mother. She's been brainwashed. She wants to win. I don't think she knows how to win because losers is in their DNA.
Yeah, look, I want to look like Arnold Schwarzenegger back in the day, you know? That's not going to happen anytime soon, right? We all want something. But what are you doing to get there, right?
Right.
A dream is just a dream. It'll always be just a dream if you only ever think about it. But once you start taking action, right? Let's say I want to lose 20 pounds in the next 90 days. End of the year. I want to be down 20 pounds. You know what I have to do, Jeff? I have to set meal prep. I have to hit the gym 4 or 5 times a week. I have to be consistent. I have to take care of myself, sleep better, sleep more, right? You have to do a lot of things to get to that point. And guess what? If you just sit there and daydream and say, oh my God, I want to win more than my mother and father did. I want to win a division title. I want to win a playoff game. Yada, 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 yada. Congratulations. You're just thinking. You're not doing anything about it. You hired a turd coach. We all see it. Nobody wants to acknowledge it because they're too upset. Oh no, the Venti guy, he didn't work out. What a surprise. What a surprise. And then next year when you fire him.
Right.
You come back to me and say, Adam, it's your fault. You never gave him a chance. I know.
And if they do, let's just say hypothetically, this is way too early, by the way, but if you're in a position to draft a Bryce Young and they pass on him, I don't think
they won't.
But I'm just saying,
I'm just on a quarterback
to answer his
if they're
question
picking in the top
just,
5.
Just to answer his question, I don't think it'd be Sheila. Clearly, I think it would have to be a situation where you feel the pressure and you're like, you know what?
Hold it.
Maybe
Let's
we take a
acknowledge
Will
how
Anderson.
this organization is ran.
Maybe we take a Will Anderson.
At the moment, everybody gets a say. It is a collaborative effort in Allen Park. Barry Sanders gets a voice.
Chris Spielman.
Spielman gets a voice. Herman Moore gets a voice. Rod Wood gets a voice. Rod Wood's intern gets a voice. Brad Holmes' sister gets a voice. Everybody gets a voice.
Sheila's dog.
Except the people running the football operations.
Ooh.
Right? Yeah. Go Lions. Woohoo. They're on the right track. Sheila's different. She's doing a better job. Everybody gets to have an opinion. Da, 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 da. Same old crap. And then it's my fault next year when they fire him. Oh, Adam, you never gave him a chance. Adam, you're never giving Sheila a chance. It's because she's a woman owner. Adam this. Adam that. Suck it. Suck it.
I can't wait.
Choke on it, actually. Don't suck it. Choke on it. How about that? Idiots.
I can't wait till Brad Holmes, or at least I expect Brad Holmes to have enough cachet in a couple years to kind of, I'm not saying he'll be like Iserman because you got to win, but my point is he'll be like, you know what, step aside. This is what we're doing.
I'd be amazed if that happened. I would be shocked.
Like, I'm not saying go over Sheila's head, but be like, you know what, we're taking a quarterback. This is what we got to do.
Let's go to Scott out in North Branch, Michigan. I didn't even know North Branch was a city, so I guess you learn something new every day.
I know about the
Scott,
city.
you're on the Morning Woodward Show. What do you got today, buddy?
You got to travel, man, around Michigan.
How's it going, you guys? How's it going?
Good. How are you, man?
Not too bad. Not too bad. Wanted to talk about Swift and his injury-prone ass.
Yeah, it's not looking good.
I mean, in the last 2 years, he's missed the majority of over a season and a half.
He's had injury history. This is a guy that's produced when healthy, but the problem is he isn't healthy, and your team can't afford players that are some of your better players to be on the sideline injured. That is a difficult situation.
Exactly, and that's what I've been trying to tell my uncle. He's like, oh, Swift. Yes, I get it. He's great when he's healthy, but you whiffed on picking Najee Harris, J.K. Dobbins, Kenneth Walker, Zach, what was his name? Bryce Hill.
Yep.
You missed out on picking up Jonathan Taylor. Like, come on, guys. Like, get your heads out of your asses. Like, we need a running back. Yes, I realize that, catching out of the backfield is great. We like that. But when he goes down, you need somebody that's going to be able to pick that ball up. And I love Jamal Williams. I do, but, we can't afford...
Jamal Williams is just an extension of Dan Campbell. The dude is an okay football player. The fact that he fumbled on Sunday was disgusting. He had never done it in his career prior.
Yeah, it's an anomaly.
It is so pathetic. And this is, again, these are your leaders. These are the guys pounding their chest, telling you, Adam, it's different. Oh, guys, I have a plan. Believe. I swear to God, all I ever do is think about all of you. I swear to God. What does that mean? What? How about win? How about put me, the player, in a position to win a football game? How about that? Whether you're having the correct game plan, whether you don't, whether you have the right calls, whether you don't, it never matters with this head coach because his teams just find ways to lose. That's all I know about this head coach, is that he knows how to lose. Nothing else.
Right.
Nothing else. That's all I get. Save it. DeAndre Swift, injured again. What do you know? Not available. What do you know? What else is new?
And that's the biggest thing. I mean, people can have hindsight 2020 all they want, but if you look at when they first took DeAndre Swift, like I said, if you look at all the running backs that were taken, and Jonathan Taylor, you're taking him because he's coming with the freshest legs out of all those running backs. So no one could have predicted he wasn't going to be able to stay healthy. So I can't really fault the Lions. Now, if you wanted Kenneth Walker last draft, again, hindsight 2020.
I'm not doing the Kenneth Walker
Yeah, the whole thing, hindsight, you're looking back now that he's injured.
Reynolds is underperforming. Williams is underperforming.
At the time, you had a backfield. You had Swift, Williams, and Reynolds.
It's all good.
Kenneth Walker would have been nice. You guys aren't wrong on that.
Oh, good. When we get back, we'll take a quick pause. When we get back, Jeff, we got to get to the Twitter poll you put up yesterday. The Detroit Lions have the #1 pick as of today. Who are you drafting? We'll take calls as well. 313-552-6322. Hypothetical. The Lions have the #1 overall pick today. Who are you drafting? We'll get to that in just a bit. But before we do, Jeff, our good friends over at Odds Trader.
Well, guys, let me tell you. Go bet on Thursday Night Football or the Lions next week playing Miami. And when you do it, you go to oddstrader.com because it's the #1 site for your game day bets. They have play-by-play updates, live scores, and the best price on every game from multiple sports books. I'm a convenient guy. I like to use Odds Trader. Everything's right in front of me. I don't have to have all these different apps and go back and forth. Go to oddstrader.com right now and find out your best bet.
Woodward Sports is giving you another chance to sit front row, this time at the Detroit versus Green Bay game. Think you have the best Dan Campbell impression?
Woodward Sports, let's go.
Can you say man with the best of them?
I got it. Here's what I need, man. I need you to trust me. I swear to God, I'm not a lunatic. I swear to you.
Can you say, let's go for it on 4th down?
Man, I got a plan, I swear to you. All I think about is you guys. That's all I think about, man.
Are you a master motivator?
That's all I think about is you guys.
Show us in a video. Record your best Dan Campbell impression and post the video on Twitter or Instagram. Using hashtag Woodward Front Row, we'll select the best 3 impersonations of Motor City Dan Campbell and send you and a guest front row. So knock the dust off the old sweatpants, light some kneecaps, and enter today. And as always, go Lions, man!
I just need you to trust me. That's all. Please.
I don't care if I got 1 toe, 2 butt cheeks, and a rock.
Life is full of hard choices. We're here to make one of life's biggest decisions as simple as possible. My name is Christina Gennari, and for over 20 years, I've helped hundreds of families buy and sell homes. We cover all of Metro Detroit and more, from large luxury homes to starter homes. We will work hard to make sure that you get the home of your dreams. So if you're in the market today or even thinking about buying or selling in the future, Make the obvious choice. Christina Gennari, the obvious choice in real estate. Visit us at soldchristina.com today.
3 NBA championships. Detroit fans were there. 11 Stanley Cups. Detroit fans were there. 4 World Series wins. Detroit fans were there.
And that one Lions playoff win in 1991, yeah, Detroit fans were there.
Woodward Sports, where the fans are.
Jeff Iafrate here. Let me tell you about our friends at Swiss Insurance, because Swiss Insurance Group and their employees are heavily involved in their community. It is very rewarding, but comes with great responsibility. If you sit on a local youth sports board, homeowners association, or a volunteer coach, directors and officers insurance is a must. Make sure the kids, parents, and volunteers are protected. Call Swiss Insurance today.
9:30 in the morning. Thank you to everybody joining us over at woodwardsports.com. Everybody in the Woodward Sports chat, we see your comments. We'll get to Mailbag at 9:50. We'll answer all of your questions later on. But we have a question for you this morning. The Lions currently hold the number 1 overall pick. If the draft were today, who are you drafting? Let's put up the Twitter poll first.
Yep, and so I posted this Twitter poll yesterday. I wanted to go to the people. A lot of Lions fans voted. I think right now it's at 630 votes. The Detroit Lions, the tweet reads, if you're watching on woodwardsports.com, by the way, go check it out. Tons of merchandise. Great website. The Detroit Lions currently have the number 1 pick in the 2023 NFL Draft. The question is, who are you taking? 55% Bryce Young, 19%, I think it's up to 20 now, CJ Stroud, 21% Will Anderson. So basically, this poll is telling me we're taking one player out of Alabama. At least among Lions fans feel that way. They want either Bryce or Will Anderson. The other, I told people to comment. Most of the comments when put other was Will Levis, or however you want to pronounce his last name, Levis, out of Kentucky, which, he's been playing pretty good this year. I would probably lean Bryce or CJ Stroud if you're taking a quarterback, but I want to go to the people. woodwardsports.com. Comment. Out of these 3 options, who are you taking if you have the number 1 pick, which right now it looks that way. I know we're 6-7 weeks into the season. I'm sorry. It's mock draft time.
Alex, let's go ahead and drop it in the Woodward Sports chat. Let's pin it to the top. Who are you drafting today? Bryce Young, Will Anderson, CJ Stroud, or other? And then they can comment the other underneath. So let's go to the phone lines. Richard, you're on the Morning Woodward Show. The draft is today. You are in control. You are the GM of the Detroit Lions. Who are you taking, Richard?
Good morning, fellas. How you doing?
Good morning, brother. How are you?
I'm all right. Well, I'm gonna go far left with y'all. I'm taking Beydoun Robinson.
Oh,
and this is the reason. We need a quarterback. I agree with that, but we don't have a head coach. And if we draft the quarterback, and Dan Campbell's not the guy, and they fire him, is the new coach that's going to come in going to want that quarterback. He might want to go in a whole nother direction. I'd say draft Beydoun because Swift is fragile.
In the top, at number 1 overall, though?
Next year.
At number 1
overall? Got to be number 1. They don't have to be number 1.
Maybe the Rams pick is what you're saying.
Okay, so I'm cool with that. If you're talking early 2nd round, late first round, the second first-round pick, I could get on board with that. But first overall pick, let me ask you that. Who are you taking? You got the number 1 overall pick. You going quarterback?
I might go Will Anderson or Jalen Carter.
Wow. Right. I like where your head's at, Richard. Well done. Appreciate the call, buddy.
Yeah, thank you.
Yep.
Now, I get where he was at first. I didn't know where he was taking him. Yeah, number 1. I'm like, you know what that would do financially?
No, that was
paying
good.
Beydoun, but I get where you're saying. Second, first-round pick.
I don't mind.
You could argue. I would probably go quarterback with that number 1, then defense. You take a defensive player, maybe an edge rusher, linebacker. We talked about with that second first-round pick, and then maybe you take a running back 2nd or 3rd round. But so far in the poll, 70 votes. And guess what? It's kind of aligning up with my exact poll on Twitter. 50% Bryce Young, Will Anderson, and C.J. Stroud are about the same. And then you have other, 16%. And by the way, if you have other, comment, woodwardsports.com, chat thread, go comment down below and tell me who you guys would take. But Bryce Young's leading the way, Adam.
All right, let's go to David. David, you're on the Morning Woodward Show. Who are you drafting today, number 1 overall?
First, it breaks my heart we're having this conversation in October.
Oh, me too. Me too, my man.
But I'm going with Bryce Young. And one of the main reasons is I like the fact he's worked with Jamison Williams before. So I know he might be a little rusty because, let's be honest, he's basically missing this whole season. So if he can come back and work with somebody he's known, hopefully that gets him up to speed even faster.
Yeah, look, I do like the idea of the Lions taking Bryce Young. I don't want to hear anything about Alabama quarterbacks and their history. Alabama this, Alabama that. They've delivered you Tua Tagovailoa. They've delivered you, Jalen Hurts, who technically came out.
2 quarterbacks that haven't been beaten this year when they start. So talk all you want about Alabama.
You have Mac Jones, who, look, I know he got benched last night, but he wasn't awful.
Yep.
He was a game manager, whatever.
Set records last year for New England.
But
for
regardless,
a rookie quarterback.
They're getting there.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not going to use the college against this kid out in Alabama. I'm just not. Bryce Young looks good. Stroud looks just as good. You've got Hooker now, who is leading Tennessee to something I don't think anybody expected going into the year. So,
right.
My goodness, he's working his way into a top 10 situation. Got a lot going on. Let's go to the chat. Let's see. 46% of you say Bryce Young. 20% of you. A lot of other, though. Very different now. 20% on other.
Yep, which is
so
increased.
Comment in the Woodward Sports chat. Tell me your other.
WoodwardSports.com. I see some comments coming in. One Michigan Blue says, I voted other, and I would take Will Levis. I feel like that's in.
Wow. I don't see it.
The Will Levis thing, and listen,
I'm not a fan of Will Levis, so maybe I'm biased in this conversation.
Yeah, I was going to say, now that's why we're the same, because I'm not the biggest fan of him. I've watched a couple of his games at Kentucky this year. He can move. He's got great arm talent, but I don't know. Bryce
Let me
Young,
say
to
this.
me,
If I had the number 1 overall pick today,
best player in the draft,
and I knew a quarterback was going to go 1, I trade out. I try to fall back to 4, maybe 3. I try to fall back. And maybe I am able to pick up a Will Anderson. But if he gets taken at 2, I have my choice of C.J. Stroud, Will Levis, Hendon Hooker. I've got my options. So, honest to God, this morning, I trade back. I try to I try to put together as much draft capital as I can, and then I'm making moves. If I can end up with Will Anderson and trade back, I would do it in a heartbeat. If I could end up with even Jalen Carter by trading back, I would do it. Stroud, I would do it. Like, you have the options there. I think the Lions should be open-minded to trading back 2 or 3 spots. Stay within the top 5. Do your best.
Right.
But which team is going to finish in the top 5 that needs a quarterback? Trade with them. Because one of them has their guy. And if they don't believe their guy is going to be available where they're at, they will move heaven and earth to get him. It's that simple.
And I get the Will Anderson argument, by the way. That's probably the only pick that I'm willing to, you know what?
The only way I don't trade back, by the way, is if it's all in on the quarterback.
Exactly.
So if you've made your decision, let's say you're in the C.J. Stroud crowd over there. Cool, don't trade back. If you love Bryce Young, cool, don't trade back. I'm not doing draft talk at all.
No.
I'm waiting till January.
This is depressing.
February.
It's depressing.
The point is, as of like right now, I'm not all in on Stroud or Young yet. So I'd be open-minded to trading back. Having said that, if you want a quarterback, no, you're not trading back out of the number 1 pick. You go all in on your guy.
Yeah. Will Anderson, and this would help this defense, my Jesus.
Let's take a quick pause. When we get back, the Pistons play the Wizards tonight. We'll preview that game, what Jaden Ivey's looked like, how impressive he's been, what the timeline for success is for the Detroit Pistons,
Another road
and so
game.
much more. But before we go, I got to tell you about where we'll be tomorrow, and that's at Planet Fitness out in Sterling Heights on Ryan Road tomorrow morning, live all day from Planet Fitness. Woodward Sports will be there. You'll be able to win prizes like Michigan versus Michigan State tickets, 1 free year of the Black Card membership, a signed Darren McCarty jersey, a signed Braylon Edwards jersey, that and so much more. And you can sign up today for just $10 a month. Visit them in store at Planet Fitness or on their website at planetfitness.com.
Wednesday, all 3 shows will be live from Planet Fitness in Madison Heights on 18 and Ryan. Come check it out. You can get Lions tickets, Michigan tickets, also maybe a signed jersey by Darren McCarty, or even the man himself, Braylon Edwards, number 1 Michigan jersey. Come out, have fun. Member Appreciation Week. We're going to have a great time. Be there or be square.
At work and at home. We're there with smarter security solutions, featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
When you need apparel, there's only one place to go. Big Frog in Novi. With no setup fees, no artwork fees, no minimum, and a 24-hour turnaround, you can have your whole team outfitted in no time. Embroidery, direct-to-garment, vinyl, and screen printing, Big Frog has it all in all the styles you want. So whether it's a sports team, fundraiser, school event, or corporate needs, Big Frog is your one-stop destination. Visit bigfrog.com/Novi or call 844-4-BIG-FROG.
Make sure it's seen and heard. Corner, jumper, tweet us, hop on the YouTube chat, slide in the DMS at Woodward Sports on all social media.
Let me tell you about our friends at Alta, because guys, at Alta, uptime matters. Alta Equipment has everything you need to get the job done. If you have a big project coming up, well, Alta Rent has you covered. Call them today, 844-GO-TO-ALTA. That's 844-GO-TO-ALTA today.
Ooh, we're back.
We are.
Jeff, you went to TJ Maxx, was it, or Marshall's?
Yeah. So
what is it?
It was my dad's birthday yesterday.
Okay.
So I was
Happy
walking
birthday,
around.
Pops, by the way.
Shout out to that's Jeff Iafrate Sr. I'm a junior, so
No
shout out to
way.
him.
That's awesome.
But yes, it was his birthday yesterday.
Happy birthday!
And I was at a mall by my house. I wandered into TJ Maxx. And I see a Pistons jersey hanging up.
Oh boy!
Now it looks new. It's never been worn or anything like that. It's fresh. I think there were 2X, so they're a little bigger. And I go, oh, I'm intrigued. So I go over.
It's probably from China.
No, actually, it was from Fanatics. It was an actual jersey from Fanatics.
Okay.
I go over, I check it out, and I see the price tag, $12.99. $12.99 for a Blake Griffin jersey, and that's why I want to ask you guys in the chat, WoodwardSports.com. Was I wrong for buying this Blake Griffin Pistons jersey for $12.99? It's a 2XL. I went home and compared it to my Ivan Killian Hayes jersey. Don't want to get into it. Bought it when he was drafted. They're the same material. It's the same jersey. Now, mind you, I got that Killian Hayes jersey, I believe, for my birthday a couple years ago, and that jersey was about $80, $90.
Yeah.
So think about it. I have a jersey from Killian who was $80. That's the same jersey as this $12.99 Blake Griffin Pistons jersey. And think how you want about Blake Griffin. Would you pay $12.99 for a Blake Griffin jersey?
Can we go back to Adam questioning, do you know what TJ Maxx is? Okay. I don't know. I don't know. You don't know a lot of things, so I don't know.
Yes, I do.
Okay. Do you know what Marshall's is?
Yes.
Okay, good.
By the way,
any other questions, Fish?
No, that's it. I just want to make sure you know, because there's a lot of times you don't know, like Eastern Market. You never heard of that. So
I love these comments.
Want to make
by
sure.
the way, WoodwardSports.com. Daryl Richard says you overpaid. You could have got that with food stamps.
Honestly, I agree. I voted no on this. I would never. I wouldn't spend $1. I wouldn't.
Come on, we can't appreciate Blake. The man gave us his
jersey.
knees.
I wouldn't spend $1
Gave the
on
Pistons
an
his
Andre
knees.
Drummond jersey. If I saw Andre Drummond out in the streets, I would take a bat so quickly to his knees, I would kill him on spot.
He might pick you up.
He can't pick me up. He can't.
Yeah, he's
Knock
going
out-
to
I'll
swing
pick
at
out
him
his
before
knees
he
up
has the
too quick.
chance.
Listen,
Hit
by
him
the
twice
way,
in the knees. He'll be down on the ground crying like a bitch. Go straight for the
Now,
skull. He's done.
I have a very different opinion than other people about Blake Griffin. I actually have a lot of appreciation for Blake. And at the time, the contract, I get all of that. But the man sacrificed his knees. So, and how it ended was terrible. I'm with you guys. You know, it was disgusting. You had to eventually buy him out. I get all of that. But he still has love for the city. And for $12.99, I mean, come on. That's a steal. That's a steal. But bigger than that, the
I think
Pistons
you
play
wasted
today.
$13. You could have bought a coffee.
You could have bought
what's
food at a restaurant.
You could have bought some condoms.
You know what?
could have bought.
Hey, condoms are.
You
you're not wrong
could have
on that.
bought so many other things.
coulda
that
went
would have been
to
more
Burger
productive for
King,
your life,
Wendy's,
and you went and
McDonald's.
spent $13.
Someone had the
Fast food
audacity
meal.
to tell me in on comments on my Twitter at Jeff Iafrate, Jeff, I would have rather spent that money and put it on the money lines against the Lions this week.
Ooh, yeah, I wouldn't
agree.
do that.
Are you
Whoa,
crazy?
whoa, whoa.
I would rather have a jersey then bet any amount of money on the Detroit Lions. Like
against. He said against.
No, I think he said on. He said put that money on the
Well,
Lions.
yeah, I would rather waste the money honestly betting.
Just throw it out the window. Just hold it out the window. And let it go.
That's the same thing as buying a Blake Griffin jersey. It's the same thing.
Okay, you're not.
Yeah, but
you're
you
not
could
completely
wear
wrong.
it.
You're not completely wrong.
You will never wear it. And if I ever see you wear it, I will take the bat to
Don't
your
make me
knees.
wear it on Halloween. I'll bring it
I will
in.
take the bat to your knees.
Be Blake
Having
Griffin
said
for
that-
Halloween. There you go.
Fish, don't cut me out.
Having said that, Pistons on the road tonight, Washington Wizards. Jeff, give us a preview.
So another road game for the Detroit Pistons so far. They're 0-2 on the road. They play Washington, which, again, guys, this is one of those teams. Where do the Pistons rank? Are they around Washington? No, they're not. Slightly under Washington. I know it's early. They're 2-1, but they have Bradley Beal. They have a legit superstar. Porzingis isn't playing bad either. And they have a lot of depth over there at Washington. Say what you want. I don't think they're going to be world beaters, but this is a tough game. It really is. I see the spread is -5 going Washington's way. What I'm going to be paying attention to this game is obviously you have Livers back. He came back last game. I think Burks will still be out, so this is a similar lineup than you had last week, or excuse me, a couple days ago. But with this Pistons team, the number one thing I'm going to be watching is defensively. I mean, you give up 130 to New York, 124 to the Pacers. What do they do today defensively? That's the biggest question for me. And obviously, you're going to be watching the rookies. Does Duren go back to that form we saw before last game of securing a double-double, which we know he can do at 18 years old, by the way, youngest player in the NBA. But that's what it is. You're looking at these guys and how they're progressing. This team is very young. I think it's hard, or it's not correct to come away with takeaways through 3 games. You got to give them more of a sample size. But it's important. I mean, let's see what these young cats can do on the road. And I'm going to be paying attention to Jaden Ivey because it's another game where you're going into Washington, a place that, doesn't have the most diehard fans, but they're not a bad basketball team. So what I'm going to be paying attention to today, Adam, is a couple things. The rookies, what they do defensively, and how do they take care of the basketball, like those small things that they've been trying to improve
season
on.
so far.
Ivy has been actually better than expected for me personally. Obviously, I can't speak for anybody else, but for me, I expected him to struggle early on and then kind of fluctuate between struggling and playing well. He's played solid, and I know he had a couple turnovers last game. That's something he's got to work on, but we kind of figured that coming in. There's still a figuring out process. You see a lot of Cade Cunningham playing off ball. I don't think that continues. But again, I'm not really too concerned about Jaden Ivey. Even if he comes out, Adam, and actually struggles, which we've been expecting that, I wouldn't overreact because he had a pretty good 3 games. So I'm not really worried at all.
He's giving you 18, 5, and 6, Jeff.
That's above
on
where I
50%
even
shooting
expected him. So
and 44% from 3-point range. I mean, that is ridiculous.
Exceeding my expectations. So my expectations for Jaden Ivey are minimal this game. Just go out and continue to play well, take care of the basketball, be decisive, finish more efficiently at the rack. But Dwayne Casey talked about this last game, and I'm just going to echo what he said and what I'm going to be looking for. Is this team being more decisive in the paint? Yes, they can penetrate. They can get to the cup. What do you do once you're there? Are you settling for bad shots? Are you trying to create opportunities? You have spacing now. Bojan, Isaiah Livers, Sadiq. You got a little more shooting. So I want to see the ball swing around a little more, but I'm excited for tonight.
Something that'll be interesting, and this is for the distant future, but when Jaden Ivey becomes fully synced with his body, having full control.
Right.
That is when he becomes an all-star, potentially a star player. John Morant is a superstar because he knows how to use his athleticism. Ivy will get there. I don't think the Pistons are so well built for what Ivy does best and what Cade does best, but I do expect them to win more games than they are. Defensively, they need to be a little better, and they got to stop these 4 or 5 minute periods where they just can't get a bucket. That's got to stop. It's costing you games. You're having to come back and come back and come back. It's ridiculous. So.
And one thing you got to watch too with Jaden Ivey, and it's a small thing, but I've talked about it with Sean and a couple other people. Is Jaden Ivey, once he takes it to the cup, it seems like he just falls on the ground every single time. And that's something that you see a lot with Ja early on, Derrick Rose, and these guys. But you got to watch that a little bit because how athletic he is, he's going to be up in the air a lot. And the amount of times he's falling, I mean, you're bound to be banged up and eventually, hopefully not, but suffer an injury. So you want to see Ivey have a little more control over his body once he's in the air. But again, he's been great at drawing fouls, getting to the free throw line. So, again, Jaden Ivey, not too concerned about him. Duren, I'm excited to see Duren tonight. But overall, Adam, it's defensively. All eyes are on them defensively because you saw them against the Pacers go up in the first quarter, and then as the game got on, they just got worse defensively, and it obviously costed them. So that's something to be paying attention to tonight. But they are a young team, so a lot of things they got to overcome.
Well, look, let's take a quick break. When we get back, Mailbag over at woodwardsports.com and the Woodward Sports chat will answer all of your questions. So get your questions in the chat. We'll be right back, but before we go, Jeff, our good friends over at Big Frog.
Let me tell you about them. Friends over at Big Frog, because you can get a free Woodward Sports t-shirt. That's right, free Woodward Sports t-shirt all month long at Big Frog at Novi. Stop in, tell them we sent you, and they will print one out for you on the spot. So go to Big Frog at Novi today. Get your free t-shirt, or you can visit them online at bigfrog.com/Novi.
The biggest rivalry in the state is almost here. That means one thing, the biggest tailgate party in the state. Join Woodward Sports for our tailgate takeover before the U of M versus State game on October 29th. Will Harbaugh and the boys pull out the win? Or is Tuck still coming? We will find out at the Big House. Michigan legend Braylon Edwards will be handing out food, prizes, and much more. So no matter what team you root for, come party with the network that does it best. The Woodward Sports Network. The tailgate takeover, powered by Custom Health Centers, Syntron, and Planet Fitness.
Woodward Sports, you see the name!
For a limited time only, all new burgers and loaded fries at Big Boy. It's not a Slim Jim, it's the Big Jim. The chili cheese is such a tease. Guess what else is new? The bacon blue. How about upgrading those fries? Chili cheese fries, baked potato fries, nacho fries, what will it be? Satisfy those taste buds at Big Boy.
My name is Lee. I've lost 35 pounds on the Custom Health Center program. So the three biggest benefits that I've gotten from this program has been I'm not snoring anymore, I have a lot of energy, it's great, and oh, by the way, look at this. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding.
Call us at 844-789-THIN or visit CustomHealthCenters.com for a free consultation and get started for as little as $5 a day.
You have an opinion? Make sure it's seen and heard. Corner, jumper, tweet us, hop on the YouTube chat, slide in the DMS at Woodward Sports on all social media.
All right, we're not going by the copy. If you want to win front row tickets for the Detroit versus Green Bay game, this is what I want you to do. Grab a GoPro.
Yeah.
Grab a camera, your phone, I don't care what it is. Take it with you to work, and I want you to do the worst job you can for a whole week at your workplace. And record it. And then by magic, so all of a sudden you become Dan Campbell. Congratulations. That's how you'll win tickets. Make sure you post that video on Instagram, TikTok, or Twitter. Make sure you're following us on the social medias, and make sure you use hashtag Woodward Front Row when you submit your video, and we will announce 3 winners to get a pair of front row tickets November 4th. Man. So go to work, record yourself for a week, do absolutely nothing at your job, suck for a whole week, record it, submit it, you know the rest, and you'll win the tickets probably. That's how you win.
Seems pretty simple, man.
I love it.
God.
What do we got coming in here?
Adam, you made it. Good clap for Adam Beydoun. He made it.
Talking about my situation in my fantasy football league. Suck it. All right? I am arguably the best 2-5 team this league has ever had. All right?
You said something about the Lions,
I have allowed the 3rd most points in the league. Every week for the last 4 weeks, I've played the 1st or 2nd highest scorer. It's not like I'm putting out duds here.
Oh,
ridiculous.
2-5 is 2-5.
I like this question.
You will eat your words 6 weeks from now. I promise you. I will win the next 3 games.
I hope to.
On top of, I will win 5 of the next 6 games. I guarantee it. I'll put $100 on it.
Oh, wow.
For one lucky person in the chat. If I don't win 5 of my next 6 games, I will give one lucky person in the chat $100.
Looks like they're winning $100.
It looks like Bigfoot's real. And we'll go to Daryl Richard on the WoodwardSports.com. I love this question. Adam and Jeff, do you guys want Dan Campbell coaching Bryce Young? Come on, guys. Dan will ruin his future.
Good call.
I don't want Dan Campbell coaching anything.
I was going to say, and listen, this is just the reality. I don't think Dan's a quarterback whisperer. It's why you have Brunell. It's why you have Ben Johnson. So, again, I don't think it's going to be Dan coaching him, but you're right. Do I trust Dan to put him in positions to succeed? No. So, good question, Daryl. What else do we got? Jack
Are the
Harrington.
Lions going to win another playoff game before Sheila dies? I don't know.
Oh, my God. Well, that's a lot.
Not
That's a lot going on in that question.
What are you guys going to do for the Michigan State-Michigan game? We'll be tailgating out there. Location will be announced in the next 24, 48 hours. So I'm excited to share all that with you. We're just finalizing a few more details.
Augie Schmidt asks, how long do you let Bryce or any quarterback sit behind Goff before starting him? Or do you start him week
at the end of the year if
you
he
get him in
continues
there
to play
week
like
one.
this. Yeah, I think you start the rookie day one.
I wouldn't be opposed.
It's a great situation for any rookie quarterback. A very good offensive line, weapons on the offense. You'd have Jameson going into his second year. St. Brown going into his third year. You have a lot going for you. There are no excuses. A rookie could walk in and do a good job with proper coaching, in my opinion. Let's see what other questions we have.
Mailbag, Jeff, are you going to dress up like Blake Griffin for Halloween alongside Adam doing MCDC? If I wore a BG jersey in here, I think I'd be tossed out the side window.
Blake Griffin or Brittany Griner?
Shout out Brittany Griner, by the way.
Shout out. She got
Hopefully she gets home
messed
safe
up
sooner than later.
Enjoy those 9 years.
No, don't enjoy. That's terrible.
That's brutal.
Yeah, Russia
sucks.
Different.
Don't
Let's
break
see
the
what we
law.
got. Mailbag, wouldn't you rather have Will Anderson and trade up to get a QB with your second pick? Depends. I'm not really a big, and I love Hendon Hooker, by the way, but people forget he's like 25 years old. So, like, again, Bryce at 21, 22, or, Hooker at 25. I'll take 3 years of Bryce and C.J. Stroud getting better, personally, but I do like Hooker a lot. Hendon Hooker. But we'll see. I'm curious to see where Hooker ends up going in the draft.
Let's see what Jesse
It's going to be
asks.
one of the stories I follow.
Jesse Adams says, Adam and Jeff, what excuses are you / Michigan fanboys at this network going to say if Michigan takes an L on Saturday? Second question, do you boys wish the Lions drafted K9 now? The Kenneth Walker thing, Jesse, I have nothing to say. I have no comment. But regarding if Michigan lose, if they lose, I'm smoking a hookah.
How do you know
I'm
I'm
gonna be
going in
drinking
on
that
Michigan
Monday morning.
fans?
I'm rooting for Michigan State. Don't get me wrong. But they're going to lose. I'm sorry. It's just not happening. I don't see it. I just don't see it. Do you think the Lions will fire Campbell? I don't think they will.
No.
Please give me some hope. Sorry, William. I'm going to
Nope.
give you no hope. They are not firing Dan
Nope.
Campbell. He will be the head coach this
Yeah.
year. He will be the head coach next year. Why? Because he is Sheila Ford Hamp's guy, and they have zero intention of getting rid of him.
Do you
What's
think
up,
he'll
Vic?
stay out his whole contract, though?
What is it?
Will he stay out his whole contract?
No, he won't see out his whole contract. Absolutely
I
not.
love this question, too.
Go for it.
Grim Father. Guy who's very loyal in the chat, by the way. Always commenting
Shout
it
out.
up. Check out WoodwardSports.com. He
I
asked,
not.
Mailbag, are we still sweeping the 0-17?
Oh, there we go.
Hey, honestly, Grim,
You're
that's
right,
probably
Grim.
the worst thing
Hey,
I've ever said. That's
those-
karma.
those-
Smacking me in the face. I still think the Lions should sweep the Bears, but the Lions should be doing a lot of things right now, and they're not.
A lot of
Because
shoulda,
Dan
woulda,
Campbell
coulda.
Can't
Yeah.
get this football team to execute on a consistent basis. So, sorry. Whatever.
Eric Wall asks, I'm 100% behind Holmes, but do you trust him to draft a quarterback when his last QB was Goff? I don't think,
Look,
listen.
can we be honest here?
You
Jared
could-
Goff
yeah.
coming out was the top prospect in that draft.
Yeah, Carson Wentz went 2, by the way.
Let's
1-2.
not lie here and play the hindsight game. Jared Goff was the, quote, correct pick, consensus pick for the Rams. He had it all. He showed it all 3 years into his Rams career. Once McVay got there, he went from an 0-7 quarterback to a quarterback that was part of a Super Bowl team. He was good. He threw for 4,500 plus yards, 30 plus touchdowns. Like, let's just tell the story how it is. But he flaked out. He's gotten worse. He's turnover prone. He's not the quarterback you wanted when you drafted him. But I don't believe that has any effect on Brad Holmes and the Lions and who they select.
Jamcat asked, Jeff, why haven't you talked about drafting Stroud? I'm actually cool with either quarterback. I think just if I had to pick one, I'm probably leaning Bryce. Although he is slightly smaller, I get that. But I really do. When I watch Bryce, my eyes are glued. And I get C.J. Stroud. He's a hell of a quarterback, but that's just personal. Personal
All right,
opinion.
well,
We'll
let's
see.
get
A lot
one
of
more
season
question
left.
in
A
before
lot of
we
season
go.
left.
Who would you hire to replace Dan Campbell? Honestly, Honolulu Blue Sparty, I would hire my mother. I would hire your mother.
Yeah.
I would hire Jeff's mother. Anybody over this bum. Having said that, you all have a great rest of your day. It's Tuesday. We'll see you tomorrow live at Planet Fitness. Make sure you come out. Sterling Heights.
Come out.
Ryan Road. We'll be down there. Come check it
Should
out.
be a good time.
We'll have Plinko. We'll have a bunch of games, doing a bunch of giveaways. It's going to be a great time. You can
Win
meet
tickets to
myself,
Michigan
Jeff,
State.
Braylon, Armani, Darren, Neil Rule, you name them.
Whole
They're going to
crew.
be there. I'm out of breath, guys. I can't do this anymore. You all have a great rest of your day. We'll see you tomorrow. Pistons play tonight. Watch out. Check
Red
out.
Wings
Jeff will
play
be on
tonight as
Twitter,
well.
probably
Wings
commenting
play
the whole
Devils.
time. Fish, shut
sir.
the hell up.
Thank you.
Everybody have a great rest of your day.
Go watch Champions League. Cut it
Appreciate
out.
you.
I know Adam won't.